Hello, everybody. Captain here, but you all know that. This man is Lep. So, Lep, introduce yourself in case somebody doesn't know you, and that's me. Oh, apologies.
What's up, everybody? I'm Jay from Leprechaun TV. On my channel, you'll find everything from concerts to cooking videos, and I love to entertain. I got a great fan base building as we go along. I want to say thanks to Cap here for having me on the show. I've been sharing this out all day, so I hope to see a lot of my friends and family in the chat, and hopefully you guys enjoy the show. Both of us are under the weather, so we're going to do our best to be professional and get through this.
Yeah, some of us are relying on whiskey and painkillers at this stage, so but it'll be grand. So we'll just jump through the comments to say hello to everybody that's here. So hello, Matt. Mad Mix here. Hello, Dave. And we're hitting some of yours then. So hello, Rex Tex Barbecue.
Yeah, RXTX. So it's
RXTX, okay.
Yeah, prescription Texas barbecue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I can barbecue. So obviously a lot easier, your guys.
That's Randy. That's the one that I hung out with at the Houston rodeo. He picked me up and stuff like that.
Okay, no, fair play. He's Canadian, so we don't mention him. Hello, Sam. Hello, Thraj. Carla. Ali's become a real good supporter of everybody in the community.
Yes, for sure.
And Joey, if you're watching, it's Sláinte. That's how you pronounce it.
Yeah. When he was saying it, I'm like, I'm talking to my phone. I'm yelling, Sláinte.
I tried to type it in phonetically for him, and geez, it's gonna be weird. And when she was putting in all the Irish names, I didn't know all of them, but I knew enough of them, but I wasn't on, you know. So, hello, Bobby Joe. Did you settle on something for TDO, by the way? I suggested totally delicious offerings that night, but it was you were running back and forward, you know.
Dude, there's so many suggestions on what it should be and really what it is. It really was nothing to begin with. It was just a couple people in the chat, coming together, grouping, laughing, hooping, hollering together, roasting people, and I don't even know where TDO started, but it started with, we were making the joke of turtle disorder. Turtle, the movie Master of Disguise.
That works too. Sorry.
But really, we settled on the damn offsets, which is a smoker, offset smoker.
Oh, right, okay. Well, see that's good too. We don't smoke stuff over here, so it's I mean, I've barbecued once in 2 years, and it's not because I don't like barbecuing. It's just our weather's so unpredictable. We can't plan it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. A couple of times we did try and we'll plan. We'll invite the boys up. Friday night we'll have a few drinks, we'll barbecue, and the fucking weather goes, and you can't do it. So, hello, Mick James.
Yeah, it's hard to smoke wet wood too.
I'm sure, and let's face it, it's always raining in Ireland. You right the way through the summer, it's always raining. It doesn't piss down all day, but it's always raining. So.
I don't know about you, but I love a wet wood.
That's for another show,
that's the +2.
Hello, Sleeper Barbecue. Thanks for coming by. Thanks to all the barbecue guys for popping by. So, let's see. Make sure I haven't missed anybody just before we go. Angie's here. Hello, Angie. Hello, Livestock. Bit risky a cow turning up to a barbecue, mind you, before I play. Let's see. Matty J, we'll say hello to him. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, Jules is back. Jules is back in the world, which is great. You know?
Yes. Yeah, she took some time off,
Yeah. Because
which is
every
fair.
panel's better with the sultry redhead. So,
Mhm.
and yeah, him too. No more saying.
I
Seth,
think this
say
is
hello,
going to
Seth.
turn into a BC roast by the end of the show.
Yeah. Daddy Dutch.
Hey, let me say something real quick. This guy used to send me inspiration quotes every Friday morning. Thank God it's Friday quotes. All of a sudden, he just stopped. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I'm nobody. I'm chopped liver.
Yeah, it happens, sadly, Oh, Mick T's here as well. Peppers.
Yeah.
Bobo, you and I have to talk soon because Bobby Joe said about you coming on here. So yes, let's make that happen at some point. So right. So before I start asking the questions, if anybody has in the yes, Sláinte, Jules. If anybody's any questions, if you want to put them in the chat, we always mark them and we are asking at the end. So right, so you know the routine, but now it's just stupid questions. So I'll ask them. You can answer them as truthfully as you want. You can lie the whole way through. You can just go fuck off. It's none of your business. You know what I mean?
I'll try to
Ultimately,
give you
it's
my
all
best.
bullshit.
Yeah. I'll try to answer them best as I can.
But there's no. It is what it is. It's just two guys talking on YouTube. So we always start. So there's a few staples in there, and the first one's always because we all know each other through YouTube. So what's your favorite YouTube channel? And I always preface this by you can deliberately, if you want, avoid if you want your friends, so you're not picking one friend over another.
I have my group of friends that I actually follow and have the notifications on. You know what I mean? I watch everything. Then I have other channels that I watch outside the realm. There's a couple probably dance and music, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. I follow country hip hop or hick hop, if you would call it. So I follow Upchurch. Ryan Upchurch, he's a big one that I follow religiously. That is outside the box, but of course, you know what I mean. I got to support my local dude, Joey Edibles at Square Table Degenerates, man.
Yeah.
Dude's doing big things over there, getting great guests next week. Hopefully, he gets Andy Dick on the show.
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Was Andy Dick not homeless for years?
Oh man, he was on the drug binge. He went to prison. I mean, this show could freaking explode because this guy could go off the rails and expose himself. Who knows?
Yeah, Joey's obviously, I would say it because you're such good friends with Joey now. But it shows great, and Joey is that sort of middleman for a lot of us. You know what I mean? So he's that guy that everybody knows in the community, and everybody is happy to see popping up on their panels and in their chat and stuff. So and yeah, he is doing really well. Then he's good at the interviews. When he's not too stoned, Joey. He's good at the interviews. So.
Miss Piggy be getting them messed up, man. She'd be sending them super chats, making them eat them gummies and cookies or brownies or whatever.
Ali started doing it now as well. Like say, Ali's quite good, so she's super chatting and that, and it's funny. I know it's a weird concept. It's like, will somebody please pay me to get stoned? But it works, It's a weird one. Although I do want to see him do one on mushrooms again because that was hilarious.
Yeah, him and Squirrel.
I can't remember who all jumped up, but he was so whacked out of his head. He was sweating.
Blake was there. Yeah, it was like a Friday night throwdown.
he couldn't hit the buttons properly. He couldn't work out how to add people. It was brilliant. It was definitely one of the best, I've ever seen, So,
Right.
um, okay, then. So, question two, then, where did the love of cooking come from?
My grandmother, my
Okay,
grandma, she was my inspiration of everything. She used to get up um, 5 o'clock Sunday morning, and we were a big football household. So she would have dinner done by 1 o'clock kickoff. Um, it'd be done around noon. So we all got to eat and sit back and enjoy the football game. So that was one thing. I'd get up in the morning and watch her, make her roux for her gravies. And she did it from scratch,
right. Okay,
And yeah, that's where my inspiration definitely came from. The love of cooking just is the passion that you build inside of you to create great meals. And my thing is when I hear the mms and I see the smiles and I see people going back for seconds and I hear the whispers like, "Hey, make that again." That's the love. That's where the love comes from. It's a definitely a give back program for sure.
okay. See, the thing about my brother's a chef by trade. Did three
Okay.
years in I suppose what you would call culinary college. And he loves cooking, but in the end, hated chefing. You know what I mean? He loves the process of making a dinner and trying recipes and all the rest of it, but he just got fed up working in kitchens.
Yes.
Um, and to be honest, in the end, it's part of the reason my brother struggles now with bad legs and stuff. And a lot of that was doing 12, 14-hour shifts in a kitchen, just
Yes.
constantly on your feet.
Hmm.
Uh, it's a bastard. But it's a great thing cooking its own. I can't do it. I obviously like eating. I mean, look at me, but I'm not um, I can do bolognese on baked potatoes, not spit ahead of it.
Spuds.
That's it. Stick them in the oven for an hour, and then just the last 15 minutes make a bolognese, or, a bolognese up, and even it sort of a jar. But um, so did it skip from your granny to yourself, or is it a whole family thing?
Um, we got a few, like couple of my cousins. We all got our things that we could cook, special. We all try to, replicate what she made, but none of us could because she started to write things down, and then it her cookbook became the jotting down numbers and just
Yeah,
tearing pieces off. Didn't know the recipe was on the other side of the paper and stuff like that. So it's we're definitely no chefs in our family at all,
right.
and nobody cooks um, for a living except for me. And one thing is we're a blue collar family, so we worked in the factories, the steel mills, stuff like that. So cooking back in the late '70s, early '80s was really the woman's not job, but it was the woman's part. You know what I mean? The women did all the cooking. There really wasn't men cooking. Even when it came to grilling, my family really didn't grill all that much. My
Right.
dad did here and there. My grandfather, I never seen him use a grill. My grandmother cooked everything, so he would go to work. He'd have a hot meal on the table when he got home from work, and he bowled on Saturdays. So my grandma would always go to the local bakery and get a pizza, which was fantastic. Can't find that kind of pizza anywhere right now. I'm on the hunt,
Right.
and I know you big guys probably been following me. I do a lot of pizza reviews these days.
It's we see we don't have we don't have the pizza culture here. I mean, there are pizza places because it's relatively cheap takeaway. People will order and But we don't have the way you used to go in for a Coke and a slice the way they used to say in The Sopranos, you know what I mean? Or you go in, you just get a bite of, they say a slice, but it's like half a fucking pizza, you know? We don't have that here, but we have our own. Do you know the guy Adam Richmond used to do Man versus Food?
Yes.
Found out he's doing a new series that that Adam cooks Britain, and he's gone round to, it's on the Discovery Network, and he's gone round to the likes of Cheddar Gorge and trying the actual cheddar cheese from Cheddar Gorge, and he's going to Yorkshire to do Yorkshire puddings and stuff, you know. And he loves it over here. He's actually didn't really invested in a football club and all. He's touring Britain to go through. He's up in Scotland trying proper haggis and stuff.
Okay.
And that's, the thought of that turns Blake, but haggis is lovely. Yeah. I think because you're a foodie, I think you'll try almost anything. You might go, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's an awful lot you could put in front of you that you wouldn't try.
A lot of people turn their nose up to blood sausage. Hey, if I see it on the menu, I'm like, let me taste it. You know what I mean? Because around here you get different flavors. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think black pudding is pretty much blood sausage.
Yeah.
Right. We would have black pudding. So I'm off work for a couple of days, booked a couple of days holiday, and it's a sort of swanky coffee shop, and they do a thing called the General. It's 2 fried eggs, 2 whacks of black pudding, two whacks of bacon on a brioche bun. And now it's a wee bit expensive.
That's a hangover sandwich and a half right there, buddy.
I swear to God, because I was out yesterday, I was up in that night, I was called in, I got some, brought them home, and you bite in it, the egg was everywhere, you know, and it was delicious, so it was. So I was in, we have a good butcher's that does proper, you know, sausages and all, like real good quality stuff.
Yeah.
And I just happened to say, have you any black pudding? Yeah, but do I? Okay. He says, big whack with that. Says, just slice it up for me and put it in a bag, so I'll have some in the fridge for the weekend.
Nice.
But just the thing about you're right, because I'm like you, come from a working class family. We call it working class rather than blue collar, same thing.
Yeah.
My dad was a welder. My oldest brother was a welder. You know, I think I'm the first one that went to work in a shirt and tie. You know, but but it was always the women cooked, but it was always men chefs. You know, when you went in, you know. But I noticed that in the last 20 years, there's much more men that are happy standing in the kitchen, maybe with a glass of wine, cooking for everybody. You know,
my thing is I like it done my way, so I'm like, get out of my way, go sit down. I'll do it. I'll handle it. I do the dishes. I clean up. You know what I mean? I take care of it all from front to back. You know.
Yeah, and then you know what goes in it, so you can control the ingredients. You can control the quality. You can, you know, and the fact that you make almost everything from scratch, because there is. I was going to say a misconception, but it's not. It's true. A lot of the American food's rubbish, and I don't mean in the restaurants. I mean the shit you're buying in the supermarkets and stuff. It's so many chemicals in it, and so many. Yeah. Where if you're making your own stuff, you know you can source it at a good baker's, a good butcher's, a good, you know, whatever. So you know what's going in it. If you're making your own sauce, it's not just chock full of sugar and salt and chemicals and all. Because I mean, I always said I didn't realize our Domino's is okay as far as pizzas go. Like, I mean, I can't compare it to like real good ones in America, not, but they're pretty good for here. But Squirrel was saying one night, you know, Domino's is horrible. But then I watched there's a YouTube thing called Food Wars, and it's UK versus, and what they'll do is they'll go in and they'll get, and what they did in this, well, they got a Domino's pizza and they got a not just pizza, but Domino's order, and then they got, you know, a UK one, an American one. The amount of chemicals that were in the American one was scary. I mean, the British base was flour, not just British, European. It was flour, salt, water. The American one had this big list. I'd put 2 graphics up on the screen. Your man could even pronounce half the chemicals in it.
Oh, man, there's so much. What do they call it? Antibiotics? You know,
it's just, when I'm not being funny, whether you believe in Mother Nature or God, You know, all this stuff developed for us to eat the way it was. We shouldn't be fucking putting shitloads of chemicals on it. You know, um, it's it's stupid. So um, I'm gonna break with protocol. I'm gonna hit one of the Daddy Dutch asked me. So I'm marking any of the questions to
Yeah,
ask at the end. But
yeah,
Daddy
yeah.
Dutch wants the you see the jumper cable clamp trick. I did that.
So Kent and I, we started hanging out in Google Hangouts. Uh, we had YouTube channels, but to
Yeah.
hang out with other YouTubers was on the platform Google Hangouts.
Okay.
And we used to, man, we'd get lit to like 3, 4, 5 in the morning, just going talking about everything. We'd watch from UFC to NASCAR to sports, all sports, about cooking recipes, sharing videos, sharing drinks, you know what I mean? Virtual bar, have you? So, Kent took some vice grips one time, and me, I like to show my nipples. You know what I mean? So it was a hot summer day. I think he had his shirt off. I had my shirt off. He took some. He hangs out in the garage too. He grabbed some vice grips, man. Clamped them things on his nipple. Was swinging them around and shit. So I had to one up them. I had the jumper cables, man, and I let go of them sons of bitches, man. And I let out a screech. I ain't never. I'm like, ah! Them bitches were bleeding for days.
Really?
Days.
Oh God! Even the
Days.
I should admit this on camera because I know it might moisten a few of the audience, but I have a very sensitive nipples. So sticking clamps on them is just not going to work, So
After I let go of those jumper cables, I don't see how anybody gets their nipple pierced after that. I'll tell you that right now.
it's weird. No, weirdly, my brother's got one of his done, and I'm like, are you fucking nuts? No, you only get the one done. No, he might have impacted the other one, but nothing for punishment, So, it's funny enough. When you were on Angie's the other day, and you kept doing all this here. She took it down. I was going to clip it and have it for the intro to this. I was going to play it on the while we were getting, But
Yeah,
she took it down, so I couldn't,
I was a dancing fool that night.
Yeah, okay. See, that's the thing I can't do. I'm still dead self-conscious. Just even being here still freaks me out. See, being on camera.
Yeah.
This is, because people know me because I'm relatively loud and opinionated when I'm amongst friends and people I'm comfortable with now.
Mm-hmm.
So when I say to the likes of you and Joey and PC and all that I'm shy and I'm quiet, nobody believes me. But it's only because I've got comfortable now with a select group of people.
Well, and that comes to that's where we come in and make you comfortable. We're gonna break you out of your shell at some point. Not just speaking on you personally, anybody. We do these panels for a reason. You know what I mean? Some people will put up their avatar. No, you know what? Bring that thing down. And when they show their face, hey, how you doing? See, it wasn't that hard. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. You know what I mean? We're going to encourage you to step out of the shell.
See, I obviously have a few rules on my panel. Well, for one thing, you don't get on unless I invite you. And another is you don't hide behind an avatar. Yeah. I'm not saying you can't put it up because you're going, right, I need to do something back in a minute. But I don't like people coming up and they're talking. It's one thing, it gives them that false sense of bravery, it's okay to sit behind an avatar and criticize other people, so okay, so question 3 then. What's been the best experience of your life?
Best experience of my life, I have a lot. The birth of my daughter, it could be one of them. Newer one that I have is Brian at Jones Bones Barbecue giving me the opportunity to pursue my dream of working on a food truck. This will be my 3rd season.
Yeah.
Best experience of my life. I got to meet amazing people throughout my life, make amazing friends. There's a lot. That's a kind of open-end question that I really don't have something very specific experience. I'm sure there is, but I'm not just, you know what I mean? It's not like something jumping out at me, you know what I mean, right at the moment, you know.
I felt, because obviously I had Carla, you know, last week. Carla was brilliant, loved having her on, but I was slightly put out myself, the fact that she struggled to think of something that was really good, you know. Not that she had loads of choices, just, you know, and that worries. And that's why we've been coaxed her to get out of the house more and to go and do stuff more, you know, like the Cleveland get together and stuff like that, you know. So it's good that you've loads to do, but I've only known you for about 2 years now, and you were relatively new on the food truck at that point. But are you still looking eventually to break out on your own?
Oh yeah, for sure. Right now, this is free schooling, man. Free schooling with no overhead. All the money is mine. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to pay the overhead. You know what I mean? Like I'm watching this guy, you know, and a lot of times there isn't much profit. You know what I mean? So for somebody starting out on their own, that profit goes down smaller. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's been great. I love it. He's given me the opportunity to learn from him, learn from his mistakes that he had already made throughout, because he's been around for 10 years.
Yeah.
Actually, now it's been 12 years.
Right.
So he's made the mistakes already. You know what I mean? So it's easy for me to show up, load the truck, jump in it, drive to the event, serve, drive back, do the dishes, and go home and get paid.
Yeah, fair play. So you're obviously always thinking, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And you probably don't want to go in direct competition with the guy that, you know, if you turn around.
Yeah, I'm not going to be barbecue. I'm definitely not going to be barbecue. For one, you got to get up real early in the morning and slow cook your food to have it ready to serve, say, breakfast, lunch. You know what I mean? Them early hours. No, that's not me. My thing is probably going to be tacos. I'm a taco guy.
Well, see,
I'm a street food.
I have a thought for you. Right?
Okay.
Obviously, it's all about the niche. So obviously, we have a mutual friend who, don't read that. I meant to try not to read the question.
I got you.
So we have a mutual friend. You know, I'm not going to name who he is, but he's a moron who lives in Arkansas. Who's been threatened for longer than I've known him, right? And what I've said a lot of times, he has to do something different, right? So I don't see anybody over there, because you're very proud of your Irish roots, okay? And I think if you go out and so I think you should play the green card over there, because, you know, almost every American I meet, you know, says they're Irish, you know. So I don't recall people doing, like, one of the biggest things in Ireland is a soda farl. Now, not just ordinary soda, but a soda farl. It's about that size, and you fill it with sausage, bacon, and egg. So if you go up with a food truck all decked out with the Leprechaun logo and the green, white, and gold, all the rest of it, proper Irish food. You know what I mean?
So Mrs. Lep wants me to do old world food. She says that's my calling, because I make some banging Polish food, man, some cabbage noodles and stuff like that. Yeah. But she said, take it and turn it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Put it like we call them pierogies over here.
Yeah.
So I can make Irish pierogies. I can make the Polish pierogi. I can make the German
Yeah.
pierogi, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I definitely lean into your history, lean into your culture then, because there's you said Irish stew, proper Irish stew, you know, especially if it's cold over, because let's face it, it's nearly always cold in Cleveland, and there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing better than a fucking a thing of stew. You know
Yeah.
yourself, it's just lines of fucking sodas, and then because you obviously you put your own twist on it, because
Mm-hmm.
whatever sausage you want to put in it, whatever sort of bacon, with fried eggs, whatever you want to put in it, and make your own sauce and all. Play the green card, you know what I
Yeah.
mean, and do it, and then you're right. Have the Polish stuff, have the you know what
Yeah.
I mean. But I just think it's an easy trick for people to play over there, because I had a friend called Billy, and he used to go over every summer and play music in America. So he's a musician, and his name was Billy Neal. But when he went to America, because he could double and treble his rates, he became Liam O'Neill for 3 months. Just leaned
Okay.
into it, just played the green card and went over and went, and he could just put his prices up and make a fortune. So,
Hey, believe me, that's one thing I'm scared about is backing myself in a corner with a menu.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Because what if it don't succeed? I'm terrified of failure. If you're not terrified of failure, you won't succeed. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So I want it to be perfect. I want it to be right. I want everybody to love it. I want it to explode
yeah.
the first moment I hit the wheels rolling.
But but
Um,
but Julie, the trick then is get something. Because I'm not being funny. Everybody does a smash burger these days. Everybody does.
yeah. There's
You
tons of trucks already here.
Yeah. So and that was part of my thinking as well, because I know Blake's joking about the hot dog thing, and I kept saying to him, no, play the green card,
Yeah,
put the Irish flag on it, go out and sell Irish stuff.
yeah.
But I mean, definitely, if Mrs. Lepp's saying old world stuff, it's not to say you can't do a wee bit of fucking taco, a wee bit of. And obviously, somebody that runs a kitchen, you can't make the menu too big, because then you can never do it
No,
all.
no.
That's where most restaurants fuck up, because they put too many things on, and then
Mhm.
you can't keep your stock fresh. You can't
Right,
produce everything.
right.
Um,
I'm
but
giving them two, three options as far as
yeah,
protein. Two, three options is a side, and
yeah. Well, that's it. If you're doing
I don't
tacos,
know about drink. I don't know about drink yet. You know what I mean? Like can of soda,
well,
a bottle of water,
you
something.
know yourself.
Simple.
You need your sodas for the money. Sometimes the profit margin and the sodas that goes with it. You know what I
So
mean?
that's where the biggest profit margin does come from is your drink.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I buy a case of water for $5. I sell it for $1.
Yeah.
There's
Because
24 in a pack. There's 24 in a pack. You do the math.
yep. And especially if they're standing there. I mean, if you get the right spot at night, because I don't know if you want to go, but some of the best ones here do, whenever he comes out of the pubs, they want something to eat, and that's where all the fast food places do well. But we don't do food trucks that much here,
Mhm.
because there's takeaways
Sitting around,
everywhere,
sitting around concert venues, stuff like
Yeah,
that. My thing around here, because we got a lot of factories, everybody was like, go around to these businesses because they all have third shifters. Go
yeah.
around to these businesses and hook up a menu for them. That way they could call ahead, get everybody involved, call ahead and say, I'll be there at 4 o'clock in the morning to feed you guys. And I go back home.
Absolutely, because it's a Friday morning thing for us here. We used to have a food. See, there are some food trucks, but there was one used to come into our place on a Friday morning. On a Friday morning, everybody wanted a soda.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody went over, and then it's just, what do you want in it? So, but yeah, it's knowing your market. It's getting your. I mean, you're obviously good at what you do, but it's picking the right thing to do. Because
Mm-hmm.
no point you loving it if it's not going to sell out there. But and that's the thing. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you get the burger right, because I watched a YouTube video the other day about some guys reviewing a smash burger in Texas, which is according to them was the best burger in America. And in fairness, it did look great. But the other thing is, one thing they did was you couldn't go in and go, well, I don't want pickle, and can you add this, can you add that? You went in and you ordered the burger, and I went, they cooked it, and then that's your burger. Cut down the options. So.
That's
But
one good thing about my smash burgers is you do not need any condiments. So I do the Oklahoma, when I do the Oklahoma fried onion smash burger, where you shave the onion real thin, right?
Yeah.
And you put the ball down, you put the onion on top of there, and you smash it, and then you flip it, and it fries that, and you just top it with cheese, and you put the bun on there, and it kind of steams with it, and you slap that thing together. You actually need no condiment with it. It's so juicy. It's so flavorful. The bun's soft, and of course, shameless plug, I use Uncle Steve's Shake Original. That's all I use for my smash burgers. And it's phenomenal.
Yeah, well, that's what they were. They were practically shaving the onions, so they were so fine. They were just and add the flavor without.
No, I would definitely do a no onion version for those folks that don't like onion. But that's it. Other than that,
they didn't. They just went.
Yeah.
You want this burger? This is what you're getting.
Right.
Because I think it is a very American thing to come in. Can you hold this? Can you add that? And all. We do it here a wee bit now, but you used to see it in the TV all the time. People go in, can you do that? But hold this, or but we tend to go in and went, right. Well, I want to fry, and they'll just put a fry in front of you, and whatever's on it, you added or you didn't. There was no, we'll do this. And I get overcomplicated because again, listen to my brother was a chef, and they hated people being overly picky. You know what I mean? Just, well, I want this, but I want this, but, and you can't do that when you're trying to serve, loads of people. So, okay. Question 4. So this is a bit of a silly one, but aren't they all really? But so if you could kill one person without any consequences, who would it be?
Oh shit! Oh. I don't know, man. I don't have that much hate in my body.
There's Uncle Steven. So.
Yeah, Uncle Steve. Thanks for joining. Appreciate that.
And feel free to clip that wee bit if you want to clip that and do a short with Uncle Steve's.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I had to kill one person without any consequence, who would it be? Man. That's a tough one because I really, there's nobody really that I would wish death upon, especially with my own hands. Now put me in a situation where I'm the protector and I have no choice. I saved a 6-year-old boy from a pit bull attack.
Right. Okay.
And it was very vicious. The little boy got severely hurt. Almost wasn't able to walk again. He was 6 years old, and it chewed the inside of his leg from his knee, his whole thigh. And it was ripping ligaments out. The whole dog was blood. It was just muscle and going everywhere. And it was just digging deeper and deeper into this kid's leg. And I just seen rage. So when I opened up the gate, I had people behind me. 2 brave souls backed me up. First, I took a shovel, like a plastic snow shovel, and I whacked the dog with it. Bow! The dog looked at me and went right back to eating the kid because the kid was trying to get up and the dog was trying to get the kid to stay down. There was one of those little razor scooters, which is the little metal things with the little like rollerblade wheels that you could fold up and stuff. So I folded that up and I hit the dog on its head. Boom! And it yelped and so in that meantime, that dog was away from that kid and I hit it again. And the people behind me grabbed the kid by his legs and drug him out of the yard.
Right.
Now I'm in the backyard with this dog.
Yeah.
And I'm swinging my way out of the fence, but there's 2 people in the house. So once I close the gate, the dog goes for the other 2 people. They had to lock themselves in the bathroom,
Right.
right? After the dog came back, I got the dog to come back outside and focus on me, and it wanted me bad, man. It really wanted me bad. And I'm standing on a stoop looking over the fence, and I'm antagonizing the dog so it keeps attention so they could close the door. And so that happened, and I really, really wanted to kill that dog. This one dude come over and he's like, I'm from Miami, man. I got a pistol. You want to shoot the dog, man? And I could hear the sirens already coming, you know, and I'm like, that's the last thing I need is get a gun spec, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that was something that I actually wanted to kill.
Fuck, that's scary. I mean, I'm a dog lover, but when a dog does that, you know, there's very little you can do about it. You know what I mean? Because once, and that is, you know, it's absolutely well done. Because we keep English Bull Terriers. We've shown them and bred them for years.
Yeah.
And we had one, and he was aggressive. He was perfect with people, but was aggressive with other animals.
Mm-hmm.
And we gave him to somebody free. He says, "Look, we just wanted to rehome him, but you need to be somewhere. You need to keep him away from our dogs. He's perfect with people." And you know, we told him all, you know, just walk it, blah blah blah. And he came back a week later. Says, "I can't cope with the dog. It killed a wee dog." So, well, what would you fucking do? He said, "I thought it was going to be friendly. You were told you did." But we went straight down to the vets and unfortunately put the dog to sleep. The dog's aggressive. We've tried rehoming it, you know, so that's brutal, you know. But just you have to be thankful every day you were there. You know,
I didn't have
to be thankful.
Yeah, I didn't have a chance to think twice about it. You know what I mean? I hear a kid screaming. When you hear, actually, the lady, it was my friend's mom.
Right.
So it was my friend's son and his buddy that were in the backyard. She came out and screaming, so I just went running. I'm about 4 houses down, and I went running, and I didn't know what she was screaming about. But when I ran up to the gate, I didn't have time to say, "Oh no, fuck this, I'm out." You know what I mean? I seen blood, lots of it. I seen meat, muscle, skin.
Yeah.
I had to save that boy, you know.
That's instinct kicking in, and I'll have to say, you know,
fight or flight, man.
Now that it's over on this side of the pond, you know, all this International Women's Day bullshit, a woman wouldn't have been able to step in there and stop that pit bull. Just saying, Angie, in case you're still watching. You know?
Hey,
it took a man to save that child, not a woman.
Hey, on that note, I'm gonna go refresh my drink real quick.
Yeah, no problem. I'll save a load of few people. You know, yes, Angie, the woman screamed for a man to come and help. You know, so let's see. There's a few people turning up there. Chris TV, I don't know you, so fair play. Thank you for popping by. Let me see, Uncle Steve, who got a free plug earlier. You know, so absolutely fair play to that. There was a few other people come in. Guggen Barbecue. Hello, Guggen. Thank you everybody for popping by. You know, I know you're not here to see me. You're here to see this man who's not here. Camera always freaks me out. It's weird. It's absolutely not bullshit. If you listen to this story, the woman stood and screamed. The man came and saved the child. It's just a fact, you know. So, and International Women's Day is over this side of the pond. So we're back to being a proper, normal man's world, like it should be, you know. So, and yes, I know all the women are going, I'd have saved it, but pit bulls are big, strong animals, you know. Just saying. Yeah, I don't like yeah. Look, I agree, Jules. There's very few bad dogs, just really, really bad owners. I agree with that wholeheartedly. There are exceptions. Some dogs are just, like every other animal, including humans. Some of them are just born bad. So um, thank you, Jules. Jules, we'll have to have you on here at some point. So once you get your internet and all sorted, we'll get you on. We'll do this if you're up for it. So and I have to point out, somebody ruined the fucking boxing for me. Who was it? Matt may have been, or maybe McT. I was trying to avoid the boxing, and people were putting it in the thing. So apparently AJ knocked him out in 2 rounds, which I quite like to see, because I'm becoming a bit of a boxing fan, and I don't like some fucking MMA guy or YouTubers beating boxers. It's stupid. So, there's Paul's turn up. Hello, Paul. Yeah, cool. I'm really hoping this starts to kick in soon, because my throat's starting to close up a wee bit, which is rubbish. So I'm going to try and drink as much whiskey purely for medicinal purposes, get that wee bit of antiseptic, going. So, let's see. Yeah, there's a few here. Big Daddy Dutch, I'd love to have on. Kent, if you're up for it at some point, you want to do this. I'm going to add you to the list. That's it, Kent. You've made the list. Despite not being a YouTuber, I do have a YouTube book where I take a note of everything. Big Daddy Dutch question mark. Have I Jules down? Jules, have I you down? No, Jules, I hadn't. That's okay. See, I was thinking about that, Jules, but I was saying to Lep earlier before we started, I can't drink hot stuff. I don't drink tea or coffee. So if I go for a hot whiskey, which I did think about, because I've got honey, funny enough, I have a supplier was in one day and gave me a jar of coffee. He keeps bees. Outside honey. He keeps bees, and he jars of honey in the boot of the car, and he brought in and went, take some of that. But the time I let it cool down, it'll be ruined, So, okay. So
I got a buddy, Early Bird with Brad, and he swears by getting you a mason jar of honey and putting about 4 heads of garlic in there, and it waters the syrup. I mean, breaks the syrup down in the honey. Don't make it a stick, and he prevents them from getting sick.
Well, see, garlic is supposed to be great for that. Even I know that. But this is it's weird. I've only ever seen honey before where they'd process it a wee bit so as you could almost squeeze it out of a thing. This is solid, because he's literally just scooping it out of the hive and putting it in jars and then putting it in here. And I haven't even tried it yet, but I might eventually have to go down and get a fucking hot whiskey at some point. So question 5 then.
Okay.
What aggravates you the most?
Aggravates me the most. Stupid drivers. Stupid drivers, man. Half the time I don't know how y'all got a freaking driver's license.
Yeah.
And that stems from young kids. I hate to say it on National Women's Day, but you women drivers cannot freaking drive. I'm telling you, y'all should have 2 tests for you. One common sense and another driving one. And old people.
Yeah.
old people. I mean, there should be a cutoff line. All right, you retired. That you give your license up too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was going to complain about women drivers at the same time. But it is there's certain excuse me. There's certain things I think we all as drivers. There's certain things that just get to us and annoy us. Uh, Night Owl. Um, yep, absolutely. Well, it's over this side of the pond, so yeah, let's go back to being misogynistic and um. But I think there's certain things. It's like so if we come up, if there's 4 lanes, there's 2 that way, 2 this way, and there's a junction, and you'll sit behind somebody at the lights, and the lights will change, and then they'll fucking indicate the turn, and that takes me to the fucking fair every time, you know.
Allison, good night.
And driving's a rough one. I don't like driving, and it's a beauty that we've only a wee country. We've only 6 counties. There's 1.8 million people in Northern Ireland, and
Right.
I mean, I drive to work. It's 3.5 miles each way, so I do about 7 miles a day. And in the morning, if I tend to leave before the traffic starts, and I'm in work in about 10 minutes. And the big commutes you guys do, you know. That was, you know, it's probably as well I don't, you know, we're not allowed guns over here, because if I had to drive for an hour each way to work and back, you know, I definitely end up in jail, you know. Right, okay. So question 6. What's your
that was an easy one. That was an easy one.
That's an easy one. Women drivers. So just women drivers, just for the ladies in the chat. So so what's your biggest insecurity then?
Oof. Man, I don't know. I have so many.
Well, we all do, but it is our insecurities that tend to drive, not all of us, but successful people on, because they don't want to be this, they don't want to be that.
I'm a sucker for pleasing everybody when I shouldn't, you know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know. It could break me, you know what I mean? Like if I didn't please somebody, it could mentally break me down. And I'll shell up, you know what I mean? I'll crawl into that hole. One was my dad, pleasing my dad, you know. Right. That was a big thing with me, you know. I wouldn't say he was hard on me, but he wanted me to be the best man I could be.
Right.
You know, and so I walked that thin line. So I built a lot of insecurities along the way as growing up, you know, young and into my teenage years. So obviously my dad worked at a steel mill for 40 plus years. So keeping a job was one, you know, insecurity, you know, because I know he'd be like, that's a bullshit job. There's no future in it, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but, you know, even to this day, you know, I could have had a food truck. My dad would rather buy me a house than a food truck.
Right. Okay.
He says, that's hard work. Why do you want to do that? Okay. But it's my passion. You know what I mean? Where we, like, you know, with the working class that we are, we settled for that job and worked our way up a corporate ladder. You know what I mean? And so it's a lot of settling. You know what I mean? I don't settle. You know, I keep it moving. Whatever I'm happy with. You know what I mean? If I'm unhappy, I'm moving on. You know?
Yeah, I think there's a difference. I talked to my boss. So I've worked in the same place for over 31 years.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm lucky. I have a good boss. I have good bosses. And most over the years I've had a few wankers, but most of them have been good. I enjoy my job. I work for a good farm. They treat me right, and I do my
Mhm.
best for them.
Yeah.
But I was talking to him one day, and I think he sort of agreed that for me it's a job, not a career.
Hmm.
And I think there's a big distinction. You're saying about following your passion, and I think it's brilliant. I just never had that sort of passion for anything other than football and wanking, I suppose. But I don't think I could monetize either of those. So, but
Yeah.
it's great that you want to do that, and it leads back to you said about pleasing people.
Yeah.
But that's something. So it's a good thing that drives you on, but it can also drag you back.
Yeah.
Because when you do get your food truck, you have to please you and your core customers. You're never going to please everybody.
That is
So
true.
if you want to succeed at that, and you will because you're good at what you do, but you have to temper that need to please everybody. It's like we talked about the smash burgers in Texas. A lot of if I stumble across it, I'll send you the link. Where they just went, this is what we do. It's brilliant. We season it. We've got our own secret stuff in it. But that's how you eat it. They're
Hmm.
not trying to please everybody. They just get something perfect.
Yeah.
But so um that's a good. Is your dad still about? Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Just retired a few years ago. Living his best life. They bought a home down in Florida, so they go down there during the winter months up here in Cleveland. And he's still riding his Harley at 72 years old.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, man. Good guy. Let's just say now that I'm older, I could tell him anything, talk about anything, and he's
Yeah.
not going to yell at me anymore. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He's beyond that. He knows he let me go. At 18, I said, deuces, I'm out.
Yeah.
I was still going to school because of age and I failed third grade. So I was still going to school at 18, and I still went to school, but he wouldn't let me get my license at 16. So when I turned 18, I'm able to do whatever I want,
Right.
So I got my license. My mom gave me a car. So I was cutting school and doing all this. And he let me live. He let me live. You know what I mean? He didn't breathe down my neck and go snatch me up off the streets when I was running the streets and stuff. And I'm not hooked on drugs. I've never been in jail. Well, I was a juvenile, but I've never been in jail, never been in prison, not hooked on any drugs. You know what I mean? All around, I'm okay. You know what I mean? He did a good job molding me.
Well, that his job was to prepare you for the world, and that's and he
instill the
did
values and the morals is
that's
what
it.
he
And
was.
he did the blue collar job to let you have the choices.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it did. Because I'll be honest, like my dad died when I was young. I'd only just started working at 18 when my dad died. So I don't know what my dad would have thought of me at this stage. Truth be told, I think he'd be disappointed in me. But I didn't have him there to ask for help or for advice and things like that. So anyway, sorry.
Hey,
that's my problem.
Hey, this is where these questions come. You know what I mean? These are hard hitting questions. They get you in your field sometimes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is potentially the toughest one. This tends to throw everybody. Are aliens real? And if so, have they visited us?
I mean, we have living proof that aliens have visited Earth. I mean, come on, look at Blake TV. Something happened to that guy. And I think there might be something in that bear. You know what I mean?
He swears he's seen UFOs, and now that he's sober, he still swears that he's seen UFOs.
Hey, let's just say I tripped on LSD, so I seen a lot of shit, bro. Shooting stars, UFOs, lights. Hey, you guys call them northern lights. I see them flashbacks.
I've never done shit like that. Never done mushrooms. Never done acid. Never done E. You know, did plenty of weed when I was younger. You know, used to be in Amsterdam 4 times a year. Remember, it's all still illegal here. But we used to go to Amsterdam. Amsterdam was great. Everybody should go to Amsterdam. Even these days, everybody should go. It's the most chilled out city. The people are so friendly. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. The architecture and all is beautiful. You know, a lot of people go just for the drugs. I love the architecture. You just get on the wee boat, go around all the canals, and you know, once you get out of the red light district where all the coffee shops are, and you go around, you see it. It's beautiful, and
So
the
that
people
that
are
used
just
to be that used to be a bucket list for me back
yeah.
probably 20, 30 years ago was visit Amsterdam.
It's just great. There's great steakhouse we used to go to actually. If you go over there, and there was a Chinese restaurant on the River Armsdale, and it was a big. It was like the old riverboat, like the Mississippi riverboat sort of things. It was one of those.
Yeah.
Turned into a big floating Chinese restaurant.
Ooh.
Right on the River Armsdale, and
Ooh.
we only stumbled across it one night. It was late, and we were literally just. Truth be told, we were stoned out of our mind and started to get hungry. And we thought it was a bit late, but they couldn't do enough for you. Come on, just me and the buddy. So I'm saying buddy now because of all the Americans, but you know, they're like my buddy Tony. See, it is. And we went in and they treated us. You know, nothing was too much. You know, and the food was gorgeous. So every time we went back, we made the effort to go there. It was beautiful, but just fantastic thing. But so aliens, yeah.
So when I see aliens, I automatically think of movies and shit.
Yeah.
But now you have that whistleblower.
Yeah.
That he came out and said, "Yeah, man, there's real stuff," but he had no evidence to back it up. So until I see it firsthand, come on. We have all these pilots that are claiming this and claiming that.
Yeah.
Sure, I'm sure there is something out there.
I think you're sort of like me. Yes, there's probably aliens out there because it's so the universe is so big.
Yeah,
I don't think they've been there. Fun enough, the American government happened to say today that they think that all the UFO sightings are just military. They're almost certainly just military stuff being tested. You know, and I always say if people saw the Blackbird, the SR-1, or the stealth bomber now, like that big black wing, if people saw that 20 years ago when they were testing it, they shit themselves. So they really, you know,
they thought there was a UFO.
I absolutely think that's the case. So, okay. So, question 8 then: what is your guilty pleasure?
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, not tacos. Taco Bell.
Just Taco Bell, man. I cannot. I've stopped McDonald's. I've stopped Burger King. I've stopped Wendy's. I've stopped all these other fast foods. I cannot stop Taco Bell.
That's weird because we don't have it here. Okay.
Right.
And when I was in America, I didn't try Taco Bell.
Oh.
Everybody in our wee group despises Taco Bell. Dorito hates it.
They say it's dog food. They say it's dog food. Whatever, man. What ain't dog food? They're putting all kinds of stuff together for us to eat. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
yeah.
Hey, it's one of my guilty pleasures, man. It's just what I do. You know what I mean? I get a hair up my ass and I go spend $30 at damn Taco Bell.
See, that's the thing. I get that. See, for me, it's Indian food, and none of my American friends like Indian food. When Joey was over here, I said, "I'll take it to my Indian," but no, he'd no interest. Because funny enough, well, depending on how ill I feel tomorrow, we're supposed to get an Indian tomorrow night, and because you don't use a lot of lamb. Lamb's much bigger over here. Because I know you guys were telling me how expensive lamb is over there, and I understand it's dear here. Obviously, chicken's the cheap thing.
A lamb chop, you get this much meat on it, and it's for probably 4 to 6 lamb chops. It's like $30-$40.
Fuck God,
Right.
So I have a wee chest freezer down in the garage, and we only put it on Christmas. You know, when we get meats in for Christmas.
Mhm.
And one of the things we always get's a leg of lamb because my mum doesn't like turkey. Right.
Okay.
But when I went to get them, they were half price. So I still 3 legs of lamb in the freezer, and they were like no more than 20 quid, which is probably what, but 25, $26. And there's 7 kilos. So that's about £16 of lamb, £16 in weight. And that cost me roughly $30.
Wow.
Yeah.
A
Now that's
leg
half
of lamb,
price.
leg of lamb for us is probably over 150
Uh,
bucks, maybe
yeah.
somewhere around in there, 200
Yeah.
bucks.
That was, but that's why we bought in a band 5 of them and put them in the freezer because they were half price, and we love lamb. But Indian food is very lamb. You can get chicken because not everybody likes lamb. So, yeah, for me it's Indian. Food wise, definitely um, it it's Indian. But no, outside of food, my other guilty pleasure would be, dare I say, public masturbation? No, I will not say that here.
We were schooling people the other day. There was a word that was used, and you broke down a definition about it, and it usually only happens across the pond. You're not seeing it in the States that much, you know what I mean? But
No, just this an animal based one.
yes, and you got them nude beaches over there, and
Not here.
there's a lot of bukkake type stuff going on over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So yeah, that was weird. That was Angie talking about donkeys dogging. So
Mhm.
that was a weird one. Yeah, that's a weird part. I only found it because I was laughing. Um I was telling my son about Angie watching the donkeys dogging and not
Yeah.
knowing what it was. And apparently there's a dogging spot about a mile from my house that's quite popular. Um yeah. So
Uh,
yeah. It's a weird pastime, but okay.
yeah.
Moving on then. So
Yeah.
question 9. What 3 people, alive or dead, would you like to spend an evening with, and why?
My grandparents, number one,
Okay.
and my uncle. So all on my mom's side.
Okay.
These 3 people were very influential in my life.
Right.
Miss them tremendously. Grandpa passed when I was 17, 18. Grandma passed away in '06, or my uncle passed away in '03, and then my grandma passed away in '06. Yeah, man, that's my grams I learned how to cook from, for one.
Yeah.
So they came from Pennsylvania, where there was
Right.
no work. Cleveland was the new popular up and coming city with the steel mill and a lot of factories. So they moved, uprooted, moved like the whole family did. All my grandmother's sisters and everything, they all uprooted and moved to Cleveland. And so that's where I got my work ethic and morals and you know my mom ain't my mom. She's uh, been chemically imbalanced my whole life.
Okay.
So my grandparents raised me.
Right. Okay.
My mom's been in and out of psych wards and stuff like that. And so those were my parents, really.
Right. Okay.
And then my dad obviously came in and took custody of me because my grandparents had to work. He knew my mom couldn't take care of me during the day.
Yeah.
Hence, that's why I failed 3rd grade, because my mom would never send me to school. So those were my parents, you know what I mean? And like you said with your dad, you know what I mean? At 18, I didn't get that adult life with my grandpa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That one hurt, you know what I mean? And my uncle taught me how to bowl the way I do, you know what I mean? I'm not the greatest. I've never had a 300, but I score well, I bowl well, I got great form, you know. Lifetime average is 195, you know.
Fucking hell.
And
You'd kill over here. You'd kill over here at 195. You would.
Yeah, nice. Some of these guys at these big houses over here, because I don't know if you guys got the synthetic lanes over there.
No, I think they're hardwood.
Old school wood. See, that's what I'm used to. This new synthetic shit, you got to get these new balls and do all this fucking drilling and I'm like, give me the old school wood where I know how to manipulate the lane. Yeah, those are my three, man.
Fair play. Yeah. So why? So that's just your granny and your granda. Why the uncle then?
He was my best friend when he died. We did everything together. I was struggling as a young parent, and he would help me out and come and hang out with me, show me the way. He was my party partner. So when we go bowling, you know what I mean? We hung out and stuff. And he had got cancer and lung cancer. And he went through the chemo and radiation. And he would just be like laying there dying. And I would just sit there with him, you know, and wouldn't say any words. You know what I mean? Just put a blanket over him, keep him warm. You know what I mean? Keep some water by him if you got parched. And it took a lot out of him for like 8 months. So then he beat it. You know, you know what I mean? Strong as fuck, beat it. And we became best friends, hanging out. You couldn't separate us at that point. He loved my kids. So you know what I mean? He wasn't just influential to me. He was let's just say when my daughter was teething, man, he took a Corona and took that and she stopped crying. You know what I mean?
It's weird. It just you said about him being your party partner. I only got to drink with my dad once. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Always regret that. Just to be honest, I think I was driving. I don't even think I could have a drink, but only went to the bar with him once as an adult. And I never got to stand at the bar and have a pint with him, you know.
Yeah, my dad don't drink. Yeah, love you, brother. Sláinte, huh? Sláinte. Love you, big guy. As we all know, we all got that one person, maybe multiple people in our lives that we would just love to have back one time. That one time, you know. There probably wouldn't be enough hours in the day for us to actually fulfill the dream. You know what I mean? To actually have it happen, you know.
I don't have that big family. Never had it. Shut the
you got it. Yeah, you got it, brother. You got it, man. You got it. You relax. You got it.
Never really got to know my dad's family. You know, his dad died. He died on the run, for fuck's sake. He wanted for murder. You know, apparently I did meet him, but obviously he used to be smuggled into the country whenever whenever all of the grandkids were born. But I never met him, you know. Don't know my dad's side of the family very well even now. I'd struggle to even know any of them if they walked up and said hello, you know. Me and my mom's just never been that close, you know. That's why I'm very close to a handful of people, but outside of that, I tend to be very dismissive, you know. So, um, but sure. Anyway, right. Let's move on from that one.
Yeah. Just know, I like to believe, other than aliens, they're looking down and they're watching us, and they are proud of us, and they want the same thing we want, to have just that one more moment. You know what I mean? I believe in that. I believe in that. That's something I believe in.
Well,
That's something I believe in.
funny enough, that it's almost like you scripted that segue. So
There's something up above, brother. I don't know what it is, but there's something up above, man. That just, yeah, I hold on to that. That's the only hope I have. You know, it's the only hope I have.
So you do believe you're?
I don't practice it. I do pray to something. You know what I mean? At times, when times are needed, you know, where prayer is needed. Yeah, I say a prayer. I don't know who to. I don't know what to, but I say a prayer for whoever's listening.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the thing. I have to look the line up properly. There's a big crowded house fan, and there's a song that they do call "There Goes God." So I don't believe in God, and I'm jealous at times that people do. I absolutely detest religion, organized religions. I don't care whether it's Presbyterians, Catholicism, Mormons, you know, fucking Muslims, whatever. I despise the actual churches and all that there. I think
Well, that's why I said I don't practice it.
Yeah.
I don't practice it. And one good thing is we shouldn't discuss it neither. I think that should not be a conversation, really. You know what I mean? It just there's so many different sides to it that it's going to cause some kind of riffle.
Yeah, because there's a suspicion going about, believe it or not, that I'm not picking on the Catholics. Just it happens to be the oldest church, but there's a suspicion, a belief that the church is suppressing certain gospels, if you believe all that, because certain gospels were against the organizations of the churches. What they were basically saying was, your church is in here or here, wherever you want to put it, and your covenant with God is between you and God, not between you and a building and somebody standing on an altar. You know what I mean? Who you have to pay money to. You know?
Let's just say this: I'm from Cleveland, where the Irish mob ran these streets. They still do, just undercover. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes you might have to pray to God, or believe in God, because you ran into one of them motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched the Danny Green story? Danny Green?
No.
Good movie. Good movie.
Okay, I'll check it out. But no, so the reason I mentioned Crowded House was so the song's "There Goes God," and it's something along the lines of, I'd like to believe that there is a God, and it's either the beautiful truth or a terrible lie, you know. And I'll always love that line, you know, because I am jealous to people that aren't afraid to die because they believe they're going to heaven. There is another thing, you know, and I think that's a good thing for people, you know. Which I never mock people for their faith, their religion, yes, but not their faith. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Are you hip to gangster rap?
Oh God, no.
No. Do you remember hearing Ghetto Boys? No. So they had this song called "All G's Go to Heaven."
Right.
So even if you're a gangster and you're out there killing, you're still going to go to heaven.
But that can't be true if you believe in it. Because in theory, I like commandments and stuff. You know what I mean? Because I don't think we should be fucking around. I don't think we should be. It's a guideline for life, and I don't think they're a bad set of rules. Despite everything. So okay.
If you see, if you ain't hip yet or caught on, I'm dancing around the question.
No,
That's one thing you won't get out of me, man, is religion or politics, bro.
no, fair play. So okay, so we'll move swiftly on.
Yeah.
So what would other people say is your worst quality? Not what you think it is, but what are people telling you that
I don't keep in touch with them.
Okay.
A lot of my friends I've probably left in the dust.
Deliberately or just?
No, this is how life moves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just feel, oh, Miss Piggy, I got you. Yeah, my dancing's my worst quality. Baby, I shake it like a cyclone. No, that's another show.
That's not an
that's plus two. That's plus two. That's plus two. Yeah, man. I and especially since I've done YouTube.
Yeah.
Even my family's like, bro, I don't even see you no more. Oh, you're a big YouTuber now. No, I just made other friends that I'd rather hang out with these people millions of miles away than somebody right here that's fake as fuck. You know what I mean? So I got my handful of people I stay connected with in this city, and other people it's on occasion, chuck up the deuces, chop it up for a minute, and I go my separate way, they go their separate way.
Yeah.
Joey's practically my best friend. You know what I mean?
Oh dear God, I wouldn't
we
admit
mostly
that.
do everything together. We can't do everything together, but
you can't admit that publicly. He's got a big enough head. Like you said, but look, I'll be honest. I went through a bit of a existential crisis about friendship during the lockdowns, because we were locked down for a while here, and then I realized that I was doing all the running in certain friendships. I was one doing everything. And then, so I literally, no big fallings out, no, yeah, fuck you, you're a wanker, blah, blah, blah. I just went, I'll step back. Right? And I started to feel guilty about it. But then I read this thing basically saying that if you, not just friendship, but relationships, if you analyze or think about your relationship, if you're putting in much more than you're getting out, walk away. So
there for a while, when I did get into YouTube and I was doing a lot of cooking for camera, I'm inviting everybody over. It's free food, and I got beer.
Yeah,
come and eat my food, taste it, tell me how it is. Come, people like, nah, bro, you're doing that for YouTube. You're passing up a free. You're hitting McDonald's drive-through.
Yeah.
Versus coming getting a smash burger.
But yeah, I just so definitely. I mean, I'm old now. I just turned 50.
Right. I'm on your heels.
But just no more one-sided relationships. And I don't know whether it's family, friends, whatever. And that's absolutely what it is. And I think because even my older brother's an asshole. I love him. He's my older brother. But I haven't spoken to him in about 14 months now. Because I'm the only member of the family that tried to do anything for him or tried to stay in touch. It just became unbearable. Now, if he phones me at 3:30 tonight and goes, Trevor, I'm in trouble, Well, I'll not be in the car. Well, I won't be driving because I've been drinking. But
Right. Yeah.
I'll be straight there. What do you need? What can I do?
Yeah.
But I just stopped running because it was me doing all the running. Same with certain friends, and that's it. So, um, but yeah, I think that's an important thing that people have to learn. There's too many people want everybody to love them, and everybody doesn't love you. People might pretend to love you because there are souls and they're users and all the rest of it. And I think you have to learn to weed things out because otherwise it's the road to nowhere. It really is. You have to just know who do I want. I mean, you mentioned Joey. Joey's a fucking love Joey to bits. You know what I mean?
You
He's a
can wait.
loud. Typically, see when he was here. He's the most American person I'd ever met. You know what I mean? It is,
You can
it
wait.
is Cleveland stuff on. He was loud. You could hear him for miles. He was talking about tits constantly. You know. But Joey was Joey. He was the same Joey in real life when he
Right.
slept in there.
And I'm the same way. I think
Yeah.
that's why we could get along.
Yeah,
You know.
and we were in Belfast. And I'm sort of joking. We were standing in Robson's in the middle of Belfast, and I'm standing going, Joey, lower your voice. He's going about titties, titties, titties. But he was exactly the same person, and I loved him for it. You know what I mean? Because love him or loathe him, he's real, and that's all you fucking want. You know what I mean? It's all the fake bullshit people, even in this wee fucking YouTube world. And that's why I know there's some people think I'm a dick, and that's fine. I don't give a fuck. If you like me, brilliant. I'll do anything for you.
Right.
But if you think you're an asshole, I'm gonna tell you, think you're an asshole,
Well, here's the thing is all right, so growing up around, I had my school friends. I had some friends back now mind you, I come from a split home. I lived with my dad while I was schooled in a different city. So I had friends where my mom lived in Cleveland and friends where I went to school in Brook Park. So I never really settled down with like a group of friends. I was always the get along guy. Like I'd make friends with everybody, you know what I mean? From different neighborhoods to different cities. I've always been that guy. You know what I mean? I'll talk to a complete stranger. You know what I mean? So about 18, 19, I started to form a group. Like these were the only people I was hanging out with. And I wasted a lot of years with that group. Had great times, great memories.
Yeah.
But it was my 20s. I wasted my 20s with this people. And mind you, I had a daughter at 22. So I was the family guy during the 20s and still was able to hang out.
Yeah.
It took me to my about 35, about when it clicked. Like, they're not doing anything for you. They ain't benefiting you.
Yeah.
You're only as good as your surroundings. So I started surrounding myself with more successful people, you know what I mean, in my life. And ones that had goals, morals, and wanted to do better for themselves and family. So that's where I kind of started to venture away from everyone, 30 to 35. And so I lost a lot of contact with everybody. And now today they say that's probably one of my worst qualities. 19 years later, almost 20 years later, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, but I got a goal and I'm almost there, man. I am almost there, you know?
It's weird. So when you're saying you could sit with anybody, I can't. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I really, look, I've worked in the same place for 31 years, but see if you put me in a handful of them I don't know really well, I don't know what to say. I'm no good at small talk. And even though, so we have all known each other for a while on YouTube, but see if I ever come to one of the meetups, I'll be different at first when I sit around a table with everybody. So I'm not that outgoing person that just sits and it's okay. It's maybe slightly different, and I always talk about it I always swore I would never do this. I swore I would never come up. And I was in JV's chat every Friday night, and I loved them. Guys were brilliant. But I was in the chat, and then they kept, because I could see Thrice going fucking captain and laughing at my comments.
You kept a chat bumping.
Yeah, and they kept saying come up and come up and come up. You know what I mean? And the weird thing is, and I've said this, and I'm apologies for repeating myself. It's only because I had a health scare that I finally went. Because I got 3 lumps pulled out of my head to be biopsied, and I thought I was gonna, you know what I mean? And because loads of my family have died of cancer and stuff. So as soon as your man said we're going to biopsy, I was like, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
And that's why I finally joined JVs. But I only got on with everybody because I'd been in the chat for about a year. So I knew what to slag Blake about, and I knew what to talk about and all that there. But I can't just walk into a group and just be. Some people walk in and everybody likes them, and they can talk as if they've known each other for years, you know. And I absolutely, I envy you and Joy for that ability. You know what I mean? JV can walk into any group and everybody loves him, and I respect and despise him for that. You know, it's just not something I can do. You know, so. But anyway, so I think you're the first person I've asked this one to.
Okay.
I think if you were given $1 million and 6 months to live, what would you do?
Well, I mean, number one answer for anybody would be take that $1 million and make sure I can live longer than 6 months. We already know that one. But in reality, I really only have 6 months. I'm gonna be a sad human being for one.
It'll be a healthy 6 months. It's not like you're gonna suffer for the 6 months.
Okay.
So
tragedy happens, and
yes, but you know what's coming.
Okay.
You know,
all right. You seen how I was looking at it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? You seen that. You know what I mean? Okay, now you change things. All right. $1 million. Man. I want to turn that $1 million into $2 million. So the entrepreneur in me is going to think of a way to, because it takes money to make money. We all know that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I'm gonna invest in something. You know what I mean? I'm going to do something crazy, probably outside the box. That a lot of people are gonna say no, and I'm gonna be like, do it. If I was granted that $1 million, you know what I mean? It's different how you spend it. Now, if I have to fight tooth and nail to earn that $1 million, and then I only have 6 months to spend it, I'm going out with $1 million in the bank, bro.
That's it. Somebody hands you a big briefcase. There's $1 million, but you're dead in 6 months.
I would my favorite car. I would buy my favorite muscle car, number one, probably.
What car?
Eleanor 68 Mustang.
I like Mustangs.
Yeah.
I like Fords, but
yeah, I'm a Ford guy. As far as muscle cars go, I'm a Ford guy, you know. Yep. That would be the first thing. I like shoes, so I'd go buy whatever the paint job was the car. I would go buy an outfit to match the car.
Okay, I didn't expect that
one. So I buy the car. I go to the mall to show it off. I come out fitted. I get back in the car. Now I roll up on some car show or something because I know a big car community. Yeah. So I roll up on them, and my car is going to be the baddest thing around. It's going to be the baddest thing on the Cleveland streets. People are going to be talking about it. It's super fast. Even when it's sitting, it looks fast. You know what I mean? So I'm probably going to fucking do some street racing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I love the old classic American car. I'm not a car guy. I have a Ford. It gets me to work and back. And that's all I really care about. You know what I mean?
No, we do a lot of street racing around here, man. That's what I grew up with.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, see, when I was in the Ford dealership when they were talking about the cars, and she's reading the girl, lovely girl in Ford. She's reading down the things. And she went, "It's a Bang & Olufsen. There's 8 Bang & Olufsen speakers and all the rest of it. Okay, that's good enough for me." And she kept reading it. I said, "Look, no, it's got a good stereo. That's all I care about, you know."
I got to have a good stereo.
Yeah.
You're all right. So I buy the car. I go to the car audio store and I get a ride to the store to get a fit. And I come back, the radio's in, the speakers are in, and I jump in and I'm all fitted. And then I go race.
Yeah, fair play.
With stacks of hundreds like this. Just like, what do you want? Title for title, you know what I mean? It's some Fast and the Furious type shit.
It's weird. I mean, I love, despite not being a car guy, I love the old American classics. I love the old Chevys and Chevy Nova. I know it's not. I know everybody goes Mustang and all the old Chevy Nova. I love and even some of the old American trucks. The Ford, is it a Ranger? I'm struggling to remember the name. It's not a Ranger. Fucking anyway, but I just love it because one thing is your cars are shit at going around corners, but they look good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And that's why there's. Do you ever watch the Count's Customs, the guy in Vegas?
Counting Customs, yes.
Yeah, and because they do a lot of things. So I suppose I can't remember the proper term, but it looks like the old classic, but it's got proper brakes and proper steering and all on it. That's what I would do.
They modernize it.
Yeah.
Hey, one good one was when West Coast Customs took I think it was like a 68 frame, and they took the body off and they put a newer model car body right down on the whole chassis. I mean, it was so it was the interior and everything was the newer, and the dash and everything was new.
Yeah.
But the whole drivetrain and frame was old school, like a G body or something, you know. That was pretty cool. That would be cool to do. That would be cool to do.
I'll be honest, I have I'll probably have a chauffeur. If I was to win the lottery tonight and I was to win, 30, 40, 50 million, I'd rarely drive. I'd have somebody drive me everywhere. But at the same time, I could see me with a Bentley Continental, with a convertible. Just the ultimate in the fucking, and just, going down. And it's always say, I mean, I'm a fat, ugly fucker, but can you imagine how attractive I'd be if I was a millionaire driving a Bentley Continental convertible? You know what I mean? It's amazing how attractive you become overnight when you've got money in your wallet.
Yeah, but you're talking about $350,000 for a car where I'm like under 100,000. You know what I mean?
No, I get that, but definitely that styling and that old luxury. It's not. It's like a big 6-liter engine, but that's because it's a really, really heavy car. But it just looks cool, and it's just, and everybody knows you're loaded when you've got it to see the Bentley logo in the front of it and all, So, okay. So this one is genuinely a wee bit more serious, then. So, what's been the worst experience of your life?
Worst experience. I don't know. Maybe a job that I didn't take serious and I got fired for that probably would have been a good career as far as payout, you know what I mean? And how many years I would have had at that company. Something like that, you know what I mean? Nothing major.
Okay. Well, that's cool,
Yeah.
Yeah, it varies from everybody, and then and the other thing is some people just take things in their stride more than others. I I took, maybe because I was younger and more stupid and didn't really have much choice, but I took loss in my stride a lot more when I was younger. things, things that prick at me now that didn't as much 30 years ago. I mean, obviously you feel the loss, but we just very much just stiff up our lip and you have to just go back to work. You have to just get on with these things, So, but it's yeah, but that's good that nothing's derailed you, because obviously some people are very easily pushed off their path by things, So, okay. So, question 14: if you could change one thing about yourself, what would it be?
Height.
Okay.
Height.
What height are you?
I'm 5'9".
That's
My dad's side, they average 6'4". You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it's only a number. I'm 6'3". I'm the biggest of all the Hearns and Kays. Bigger than my dad, bigger than my two brothers and all, but it doesn't make any difference. It really doesn't. I know you get, because there's all these videos going about of all these stupid women when they go and go, right, what would your ideal man be? And they go, you have to be 6 foot plus, you have to earn 300,000 a year, you have to be blah blah blah. And then they work out, well, okay, you've 0.003% of land in that man, the hate's, it's weird. I mean, is it a woman thing? Is it? I mean, because it's not like you're struggling for women. You've got to.
Oh hell, no. just at least 6 foot. At least 6 foot. I'm not trying to be fucking 6'8". I'm talking. Give me a few inches. You know what I mean?
But remember, the bigger. I mean, I'll die early. Even if I wasn't fat, I'd die earlier than you just for being that 6 or 7 inches taller.
Yeah, I mean, I
Smaller
guess
people live longer.
I guess that wouldn't be much of a thing I would change. I only want 3 inches to make me 6 foot. You know what I mean?
Well, I think most men would take an extra 3 inches if we could.
Well, here, I'll give you an insight why. Sports. I was a short kid. So if I was able to grow quicker in the middle school, high school area, I could have been a great athlete. I probably should have stuck with bowling. Out of all sports, bowling was my best. Where you don't need height. Where you don't need height. You know what I mean?
Funny enough, that's the first person I know he's a giant of a man.
Hugging him's like hugging my dad. You know what I mean? You can't put your arms up around him because it's awkward. So you just go around the belly. You just go around the belly, and he just puts his big old arm around you.
There's not a lot of people in this world that would make me feel small. I think he obviously would, because I know he's a big lump as well as being tall. But see, I get that about the sports, because a lot of you have the American sports because it's the NFL.
I grew up in a sports family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One things I grew up with dancing, BMX, and sports.
Right. See,
that was my 70s and 80s.
Right. See, my oldest brother, I said, who's an asshole, he was Northern Ireland BMX champion back in the days.
Oh, nice.
He was, when BMX exploded over here, they put a BMX track in our park and all. I was afraid of it. I was, you go up the big camel humps and they're really, really high up. Everybody else was flying over them and jumping in the air. And I was like, I come up and just over the end, but I suppose it depends. But I get that if it's basketball and football out there. But
we had a basketball hoop in our backyard, so yeah. I was always getting blocked shot because I'm little, sucked, man.
It's one of the. I'm not a fan of most American sports, as you know. I quite like the theory of basketball. I actually watched the guy. There's two YouTubers, T-Jas, the wee white dude with the curly hair, looks like a sheep, and the professor. The professor's not a tall guy.
Oh, the professor you're talking about, and one dude. The little white
Yes.
dude. Yeah, that dude's bad as fuck.
Yeah, but he's not big, but he's really, really, really good. But
He's agile.
yeah,
He
but when
he
you look at
snakes his,
so
he
obviously
snakes
the
his
big
way through. Hey, blow me up real quick, Cap.
okay. Well,
All right, Randy's a pretty big dude compared to me. You know what I
okay.
mean? So this was Randy loving on Kent.
Dear God.
Look at Kent's hands just around it like, it's okay, son. I know you're drunk. We'll get you home.
Yeah. That's definitely somebody you want in your corner if it all kicks off, you know.
Last year he broke up a fight and he had a white shirt on.
Right.
Got a little blood splatter on him. Oh, he was pissed. After that, it was hold my drink. You know what I mean? He handed off the drink. Like he was doing this all with one hand and a drink in the other, separating them. But then he handed off the drink. All right, motherfuckers.
Because I'll be look, see this YouTube thing, it's hard to work out people's sizes. You know what I mean? BC, for argument's sake, he's 6'4" for fuck's sake, but I thought he was like 5'3". You know, so it's hard to gauge, but Kent does look like a proper giant. He just does.
So going back to Kent, this is Kent's question. If I could change one thing, I'd change not being friends with Kent. You know, he gave me when we were talking about BC, he used to send me my Friday quotes. You know, thank God it's Friday quotes.
Yeah.
Friday night inspirational quote. Don't be a cuntzilla. LOL. Gotcha. He said, read it out loud, damn it. Now, mind you, this was at 7:16. Sorry, I'm a little late, Kent. Hope you're still watching.
Yeah. But I'd love to like him because if I ever get over there, I do generally I want to go tailgating. I want to go with you and Joey and I'll go and see a Browns game. You know what I mean? I'll bug the fuck out of these because I'll be going, what's happening? What's this mean? Why that? You know, because I don't know the rules. You know, I know them a wee bit, but it's like rugby. I know rugby a wee bit, but the time I went to see an Ulster game, I was actually cheering on the wrong team for about 20 minutes because they were playing. It was a friendly. They were playing in their away shirt. I didn't realise. And without the TV replay going, this is a penalty, this is that, I had no idea what was going on. You know, so it's weird. So, okay. Right. So, question 15. What is your favorite thing to cook then?
I like making those smash burgers. Those are pretty cool. But tacos is my thing. You know, I like doing the Mexican street food.
Okay. You're really far away from the border, so why the Mexican thing then?
Oh man, it's big time here in Cleveland. You wouldn't believe all the nationalities here in Cleveland. They all got their own neighborhoods. Yeah. So you could get any type of food you want in a probably a 5-mile radius. So Mexican is one thing I grew up with because for one, how about I just say Spanish food to be safe? Because Cleveland's predominantly Puerto Rican. You know what I mean? So or Dominican. Okay. You know what I mean? That's huge. And Mexican is huge. And then in the suburbs, we got, you know, all the different countries. You know what I mean? Poland, Ukraine. We got it all. We're huge. Israel, we got it all. We got Indian food. You know, we could get the good curry. You know what I mean? Shawarma. Shawarma is good as fuck. That's one thing I want. You know, that right there, I could do a lot with.
Yeah.
I think I need to buy one of those shawarma machines. Like you would put the leg of lamb on,
Yeah.
boom, and it would roast it. It turns and it roasts it, and then you just would shave it off as it cooks.
See, Joey's had that, so that's what we would call a doner kebab,
Okay.
right? So they put it
Yeah.
in a big skewer. It's not strictly speaking a leg of lamb, but it is lamb. It's sort of
Right.
and it just slowly roasts, and you're right to just carve it, and it's soft
Yeah.
and it's tender and it's tasty. It's not very healthy, but it's lovely. And yeah, there you go, Joey's, because he's had that when he was over here, you know. Well, not here, but in Europe, you know. So, yeah, it's a great, because to be honest, it's the perfect drunk food as well. Because let's face it, when did you ever roll home at 2 in the morning and go, "I'd really love an apple"? You don't. You want you want pizza, or you want kebab, or you want. But see, standing there when you're drunk and or you stoned, whatever, and the kebab on pita bread or naan bread, it's better than naan bread. You know what I
Naan
mean?
bread, yes. Naan
Yeah,
bread,
and you
yes.
just have it, and it's just
Uh,
it's like a big when you do the naan bread, it's like a big sausage roll, and it's got doner meat in it, and it's got a bit of shish kebab in it, it's got a bit of chicken bakor in it, or whatever, and
right.
bit of chili sauce, and you're drunk, and you wake up in the morning, you've half a kebab in the bed with you, and
Yeah.
and you've got sauce over your beer and everything, and it's just great. So, well, oh, so not a cuisine then. So if you if I came to say, look, Lep, I think you're bullshit. You're full of shit. You're not a good cook, and I challenge you to cook one thing to change my mind. What would you cook then? What one thing?
I would have to go with a burger because it would be the easiest. Because I know it's just ground meat and my seasoning and my love and my
Just,
technique that's gonna get you fucking
just
butter
basically,
butter
basically
knee.
all about
Hey,
the
it'll
burger.
make your knees shake. You're gonna be like,
Yeah,
oh shit. You know what I mean?
yeah. Because Blake's was all about your smash burgers for as long as I've known him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there you go. There's Joey's agreeing. So so
Yeah.
so that's your best thing then. So if Joe, if you had to choose one meal for you just to make because you really like it, then what's the one
Okay.
meal then?
How about the one thing that I would take my time and love and create for you
Okay.
would be the same thing I created for Jules, Carla, Carla's friend Nikki, Jules's daughter, and Craig and Joey and Angie, is the Birria taco. I'm gonna give you that, man.
Yeah.
It's very tasty. Uh, and those they just because they're sloppy and this is the best drunk food ever. You know what I mean? Like you would get at a Mexican taco stand, and you dip it in this. It's like a soup, au jus. They call it consomme, and it's got red onion and cilantro and a little bit of that meat in there, and you dip it. And on the double, you got to have the double tortilla. That's the only way
Okay.
it works with the double tortilla. So it soaks up that juice. And when you bite, it's so cheesy and it's shredded beef and it's soupy and juicy and it's getting all in your beard. And you just smell it for the rest of the day.
I shouldn't ask this question because you're making me hungry now. Genuinely, I'm just trying to work out. What have I done in the fridge that I can just? I mean, burn a man, it's fucking 2 a.m. here.
Well,
What can I use now?
you got the slices of the black pudding.
No, they're for tomorrow. They're for tomorrow.
It is tomorrow.
No, that's it. See, weirdly, I've only had Mexican once in my life, and it was in Scotland. I was away on business, and we went to a Mexican restaurant in Stirling, in Scotland, which was weird. And they kept trying to the two ones I was there with. There was a girl we had bought a farm in England, And yeah, I saw him there. Hello, Blake. About time you turned up, fucker. Um, hello, Anne. There's Anne's here as well. Hello, Anne.
Yeah.
But actually, I can't drink tequila. I've I had a bad night one night on tequila when my dad was down. You know, I wasn't a drinker, and I left him in the hospice where he was. I don't mean it. I don't mean to talk with my dad, but it's just sort of because it's fucking tequila. Um, I'd left my dad in the hospice, which is where he was for his end of life care, you know. And I went out with ones from work, and I wasn't really. I didn't start drinking until I was 18 or 19, 18, and I went to the bar because all the ones from work were out, and I started hammering the drink into me. And big picture, this horrible beer called Furstenberg, but it was cheap, and all I wanted to do was get fucked up. And they were doing tequila slammers and stuff, and I ended up getting rescued by the Christians. I was literally blacked out in the middle of Belfast, lying. You know, I'd been sick in the bar, and I was lying in the middle of fucking Belfast sleeping. And these guys, you know, I remember waking up and two guys sitting over the top of me, and I go, oh, fuck. And I heard one of them saying, you know, I remember I used to get like that, you know, and I thought they were taking the piss. Then one of them went, before I found the Lord, you know, and they put me in their car and took me home, and which was stupid because they could have done anything to me because it was fucked. But I can't drink tequila since. I mean, literally, even just stone cold sober, you could hand me one tequila. Within an hour, I'll have done something stupid. I'll be half naked and I'll be sick. It's a weird fucking thing. So Mexican, because I know when you go to a Mexican restaurant, they try and give you margaritas and they try and give you tequila and all. I just can't fucking do it, you know.
Well, that's okay. You come to me. I'll make you some American Tex-Mex. You know what I mean?
Yep. Because I love. The reason I love Indian food, I'm not a big fan of super hot food, but I love spicy food. I love the flavors.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot of depths.
Yeah, I don't want it to burn me here, and I don't want it to burn my ring the next morning.
No.
But I want it to be tasty when I eat it, and that's what Indian tends to be. People think it's super hot and all. It can be if you're a moron,
right?
You know what I mean? But like,
well, they ask you how much they ask you the heat level of curry that you want. You know what I mean?
Good Indian wills. You know, they'll have it on their menu, going like, this is mild, this is medium, this is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, and it is what it is. So, okay. So, question 16: what would your 3 desert island albums be?
NWA.
Okay.
Beastie Boys, License to Ill, and Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Oh God, you and fucking Blake, Bone Thugs and Harmony.
And that's my hometown.
Yeah.
You know that's one that all right. So that's why that one would be on there. NWA.
Indian.
NWA changed hip hop right when I was a teenager. You know what I mean? So yeah, that hits home. And Beastie Boys was the best band ever.
See, a guy that I used to be super. It was my oldest friend until about 18 months ago. He loved the Beastie Boys, and I just could never get into them. But so it's just I'm going to jump into one of Miss Piggy's. I'm just trying to find it. Where it just ties into that. Can't find it. So Miss Piggy was asking, although I can't find the question on my starred ones. But what got your? Should we explain your love of hip hop and those are there? Sorry. Explain your love for hip hop music and rap.
So, Miss Piggy, coming from Cleveland streets, inner city, rough. The things we did as young kids was run the streets. One thing about running the streets is you get into turf wars and gang wars and stuff like that. So back in the day, we used to have dance battles. It was really before the gangster guns and shit came about. So I'm talking 78 to like 84. Was all break dancing and running the streets. So most people don't know. I don't know if you know this, Cap, but there's 5 elements to hip hop.
No.
Yes.
No, I mean, no, I don't know what I'm not.
Oh, yeah. So there's five elements to hip hop, and a lot of it has to come with just being an ornery kid, juvenile. You know what I mean? So you would have graffiti, number one. I was big into art. I love art. I still tag stuff. I used to spray paint, the trains and stuff like that, tag our group, our neighborhood, you know what I mean? Lakeshore Rockers.
Yeah, at full disclosure, I would have been shot for that. I hate that. I think when I talk about Amsterdam, if you ever get over it, you'll see everything's tagged everywhere. So you're on the train tracks and all. And I'm sitting on the train going, "That's a shame. That's a shame." It's just not my cup of tea,
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, sorry, carry on.
Yeah. So you got, so remember I said when I got the car, I would go buy a matching outfit. So that was B-boy. B-boy, we wore the Puma, Adidas tracksuits, all color coordinated, the Kango hats. We had the big boom boxes, you know what I mean? Double cassette deck, you know what I mean? And then you got DJing. So just about everybody had a record player, but a lot of people didn't know if you went to the music store and you got a better needle, you could scratch.
Right, okay.
So we would do that at home. You got lyricists, you know what I mean? They're like the MC, MCing. So like sort of what I did at Joey's Comedy Jam, me being a host, I was the MC, I was MCing. And then you got the historical knowledge of the movement. Like I just schooled everybody. Those are the 5 elements of hip hop.
The thing is, it's one of those things. I'm an old rock guy. Been a rock fan since it was in single digits. You know what I mean? So, cheers. Corona's one of the only beers I still like. Believe it or not.
I just can't keep drinking them hot toddies. I had 2 and you see me, I'm over here going like this. I'm sweating. I got the window open. It's like 40 degrees outside and I'm sweating in here.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know loads of people that really love the Beastie Boys and, NWA and all that there. It's just not for me. I'm a Floyd guy, I'm a Zeppelin guy, I'm a Beatles guy, I'm a Queen guy, you know. But like different strokes. If everybody liked the same stuff,
but here's the thing: is I could go now. See, I would broaden the horizon on this question because I gave you 3 hip hop albums, or rap per se. Rap's just a form of singing. You know that, right? It's not a genre. It's a way of speaking and singing. You know what I mean?
It's not like I have this argument all the time. I'm not a fan of rap. There's certain things that are, I've heard some Dr. Dre that I've loved. I've heard some Eminem I've loved. There's always stuff that breaks out. And it's absolutely
You said Dr. Dre. That's where the next episode. Remember, Dr. Dre's the next episode. I said the next episode because of Dr. Dre. That's funny.
Yeah, so there are certain things that have broken out, and even I like. I mean, forget about Dre; it's just brilliant, and you know, some of the stuff's great, and it's absolutely. I actually really like watching the rap battles. I love the skill of two guys just having going at each other, because it's like most things. It can be a learned skill because there's loads of ones out there that just they learn it. They're not good at it, but they can learn how to do it. The real good ones are exceptional at it, you know, and I get that. It just isn't my cup of tea as well. Because I much prefer guys sitting with instruments creating stuff, and that's my issue is where they're creating the lyrics and they're creating, you know, their hooks and all that there. They're not creating the actual music behind it. If the rap guys could start writing their own music too, rather than sampling, I think old fuckers like me might start to accept it more. You know where I'm coming from? They're not just sampling, you know, the Police like P Diddy did. You know what I mean? Which broke him out and made him a billionaire in the long run. You know, that's my take. Because I'm not a fan of even actual bands that do covers. I don't mind them doing it as long as it's not the only thing they do. I don't mind. I mean, Metallica did, you know, Tuesday's Gone or Whiskey in a Jar, but it wasn't what made them big. They just did them because they loved the songs. That's, you know,
if I had to substitute out probably one of those albums, I would probably go with something that got me through some dark times. Pantera. Got me through some dark times, man, through a divorce. Crazy.
Right, okay.
Crazy.
I didn't know you were divorced.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to kill the world, bro. Kill the world.
I feel like I'm most days, but I mean, I've seen Pantera a couple of times, but I don't have any other albums. That's weird. It's something I have to fix. And then there's bands where the last festival I went to, I was dancing the fifth day of it. 2 days camping before the music started, and on the Sunday I was we're at the main stage, and we've been there all day because we're waiting because Sabbath we're doing the headline, and it's Soundgarden before it and all. But I was down on my feet, been drinking for 4 or 5 days, camping in the mud and all the rest of it. And then Lamb of God come on. I couldn't name me a single Lamb of God song, but they were so good on the stage, and the energy they produced, it just got me. It was like my fifth wind, and it just got me going. Otherwise, I'd have slept through fucking Black Sabbath. So yeah. Okay. Question 17. We're nearly there.
Okay.
What skill or talent would you like to have that you don't currently have?
What is it?
What skill or talent would you like to have that you don't currently have?
Playing a music instrument.
Okay.
Yeah. I can play, but I would love to be like JV's level. How about that? You know what I mean? But I grew up. So I remember being in diapers. There's a video of me with a tennis racket, thinking I'm playing the guitar. You know what I mean? Because my grandpa played guitar, so he would always come home from the bar, you know, after bowling, plug in the electric guitar or bust out the acoustic, whatever he felt that night. You know, there is a picture of me. I wish I could find it. I can't do that right now, but I'm about 2-3 years old, diaper, or I don't know if I was in a diaper or not. I might not have been. Maybe just my underoos and fucking flannel. Got the guitar, my grandpa, and you could just see all the whiskey bottles on the table and the beer cans. I was like, oh shit, grandpa was getting down. And I'm sitting there stroking, you know, but I wish I would have got better with the guitar. I probably should have paid attention, but I ended up playing the trumpet in school.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, marching band type shit till I started wrestling, and then I couldn't do both of them.
Right. Okay.
Mm,
Yeah. So musical instruments is an obvious one for a lot of us. I mean, I bought electric guitar a while ago, and I am trying to learn it. I am practicing, but I'm really struggling with it. Some people just pick it up and it just makes music.
yeah.
JV's that guy. JV just to play anything. I'm
Well,
really struggling.
but these guys probably have been doing it since, you know, when I was talking about. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
oh, absolutely. But
Yeah.
when the JV on the
I
other
wish
one
I
did
would
the
have paid attention more. You know what I
yeah.
mean? At that point in time, because it was there. It was there for the taking. You know?
Some people just take it. That's the thing. For some of us it's a struggle. For some people it's just and just it's weird. I'm trying to learn fucking Three Little Birds for fuck's sake. It's a very very beginner one, and even I'm struggling to make that sound like the song. And it's just
That's funny you bring that up because I just went and seen a Bob Marley tribute
right. Okay.
the other day. So it was pretty badass.
Right.
They've done it seven. Um, they've done this is seventh year doing it, and they're called The Ark.
Okay.
And Carlos Jones, really big in Ohio. Oh yeah, write that one down. Pretty cool band to follow. And it was a tribute to the One Love, you know,
Okay.
and the movie just came out. You know, have you seen that yet?
No.
Yeah.
I know his grandson's on tour now, but I was talking the other night, and I'd like to be honest. If he didn't have the Marley name, you'd look at him and go, "It's not very good," because he's
Mhm.
his grandson. He's getting all this kudos, and it's weird. But it's a weird. I like a bit of Bob Marley.
Yeah.
I've only got his greatest hits, but I like a bit of Bob Marley. But the weird thing is, I mean, so I'm a big football fan, not your football, proper football.
Yeah.
I'm a big Liverpool fan. Just shout out to the boys. But they played a cup final last Sunday, Sunday
Uh,
before maybe, and the fans for some reason, and it's just weird coincidence. The Liverpool fans were singing "Don't Worry," Three Little Birds.
yeah.
Weird the whole way. 40,000 fans all singing "Don't Worry." Just a weird
About a
coincidence.
thing.
Yeah. And it's a good song. It's a song
Every
I've always
little
loved, but it's
thing
just weird that it's song
gonna
I'm
be
trying to
all
learn.
right.
Yeah, it's great.
I said, don't
Um,
worry
yeah,
about a
yeah,
thing.
that was just for you, Angie. So,
Every little thing gonna be all right.
it's a great song, but just a big Liverpool fan, and to have the fans randomly singing that at a cup final was just fantastic. So, okay, where does the best barbecue? Because Texas, I don't think Kent's here still, but the Texans
I,
all think it's them.
I've been there twice,
Okay.
and I've tasted brisket from from supposedly some competition cookers,
Yeah.
and I didn't like it.
Okay.
Um, I get some good barbecue out of them? Yes. Didn't care for the brisket though, which is supposedly Texas's,
I've never
staple.
had
You know what I
brisket.
mean? That's their gotta eat our brisket. Yeah. And I was like, no, thanks.
Jimmy, that's what I've heard. So that's what Texas tells the world that
Oh,
they're
Jimmy's
supposed to eat.
here. What's up, Jim? You had a good show last night, man.
But I mean, I've heard it because obviously a lot of our TV's American. You keep hearing about brisket. I've never had brisket, but
Wow.
yeah. So not Texas. Then where is it? Is it Cleveland? Is that what you're
Nah,
saying?
well, I haven't been many places for one, Cap. Um, just started traveling. I'm 49. I just started traveling when I turned 40. So I only been traveling for 9 years. I had some good barbecue from a fellow YouTuber, Everett Barbecue. Do you remember Everett
Okay.
Barbecue?
Yeah.
He cooked for us in Indiana. That was some banging ass barbecue. I had some barbecue in Alabama that I didn't really care for.
Okay.
Florida.
Doesn't jump out as a barbecue state.
Florida didn't care for. You know what? In Florida, though, we passed up some dude on the corner, nothing around, just him and this big ass smoker, just like pop up. That should have been the one I stopped. I needed to stop at. You know, not going to whatever city barbecue they have. You know what I mean?
Because it's weird. Barbecue's much bigger over there than it is here. Although my boss Nick, he loves barbecue. He's got his wee Komodo Joe. Because we sell them.
Komodo Joe.
Yeah, Kamado is it? Sorry.
Yeah, Kamado.
He bought one and he said he barbecues nearly every night, but you know he'll just go home from work and he'll sit and maybe put the laptop on, but he light the barbecue and he just because I mean he was joking with me last year. He has to go and get some vegetables because all he was doing was barbecuing every night. It was just chicken or pork or whatever, and he wasn't eating any vegetables. And then he realized he could barbecue vegetables as well. Just put them on and
I don't know. I don't know if Hobo's still here, but he's got some good barbecue. I've had his on multiple occasions.
This is one of the things that worries me about coming to America. I'm already fat enough, but if I come over and visit all you cooks, you know what I mean? I'm gonna
burger here, beef dino rib there, brisket here, pulled pork. Here's some sausage.
Yeah, I don't think I'll fit in the plane coming home. They'll have to put me in the hole. Because I mean, I love trying new stuff. And I love the spice, I love the flavors, So, but in saying that, how are you taking credit? So, say you were to hand me something, I go, that's nice, but do you take criticism, constructive criticism? Well, I don't mean the old Karen moment. That's not good enough. Storm off. But if I go, look, that's nice, but it's a bit overcooked or it's a bit dry, whatever. How would you take that? Okay.
Oh, that was a big hunk. Now, what was it now?
Sorry, no Angie, no crab. Well, crabs is maybe different than crab, but
I totally missed the what was
sorry.
the
So as a chef, do you expect or accept constructive criticism? So say you would hand me something like
I'm all with it. You know what I mean? It's learning. Every single meal I make, I learn. You learn. Obviously, the more repetition you do, the quicker you learn, and you adapt a system for it, and then there's no changing it. You know what I mean? But learning a lot, constructive criticism, I'm all game for it. As long as you do it in a manner where it don't belittle me. Do not belittle me. Once I feel that, bro, my defense, my fist come up. I'm ready to fight. You know what I mean? I hate that. I hate being belittled.
And because one thing, Gordon Ramsay's a guy I don't like. I think he's an asshole. I think he's a hypocrite. You know what I mean? He's made a career out of belittling people, and he runs around and go, you're a fat fucker, this, you're a stupid bastard, that, blah, blah, blah. And the first time somebody made a crack with his daughter being slightly chubby, and it wasn't even a particularly he got all handmade, but you can't say that on a terrible. But that's why you're famous. You can't. You know what I mean? You made a career getting into restaurants and all. But the one thing he said, well, him and actually, there's an Irish chef, Northern Irish chef called Rankin, Paul Rankin. And he's like a Michelin star, And he was on a TV show one day, and the chef is all pissy about the guy wanted a steak done a certain way, and that's not how you do a steak and all. And Rankin looked at him and went, he's the customer. He's paying for it. that's how he wants it, and you fucking make it like that. You know what I mean? It's a service industry. So some chefs don't like criticism, and they don't like kind of have it this way or that way. I never understood it. You know?
I have adapted the Burger King ways. Have it your way.
Yeah.
For one, I want you to be happy with what you're eating.
Yeah.
So if you don't like onions, I'll give you no onions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of people don't like ons.
Yeah.
If somebody could message damn Eastwind Farms, dag, I'm surprised he's not here, but he hates cilantro, bro. Like like when I visited him, he came here for a party. I had a thing called the Blackstone Backyard Boogie.
Okay.
Hobo was there. Chris from Eastwind Farms was here. Never Trust a Skinny Chef. Shane came up from Florida with some fresh gator that we deep fried. Chilling and Grilling with Rob D came in from Oakland, California. My gangster dude, you know what I mean? Yeah. Pure Mexican. So I took him to a Mexican supermarket, La Plaza, that I always shout out, where I get my supplies for my street tacos and shit. Okay. He got carne asada, which is steak, and chorizo, which is pork, and made street tacos. Hobo made picanha on the Santa Maria grill, you know, the thing that winds down and puts it in the fire or up above the fire. You ever seen one of those contraptions that move up and down?
Maybe.
Yeah. Brazilian, Argentinian, you know, where they get it close to that fire and shit like that. But we had a great time. A couple local people came and made my dude Ted. It's all about the rack.
Right. Okay.
Hey, and his logo was the best. He had this big breasted, like Jessica from Roger Rabbit looking avatar, and it's all about the rack, but it was ribs. You know what I mean?
So we don't get ribs the way you used to. We don't get them here. We have ribs, but they're not. But it's like half a fucking pig or a cow the way you used to do them, and we don't get those.
You guys don't specialize in big hogs where you get that big old spare rib.
Yeah. I like ribs.
Yeah, you see, I had to break out the accent for you.
Yeah.
You don't get those spare ribs, man.
No, I mean, that's because it's stuff like that I'd love to try when I was over there, you know. But I'm a mess eater. I go through about 3 t-shirts a day because I literally just don't seem to be able to eat without dribbling or fucking spilling stuff. and eating stuff that's messy is just going to be a problem for me if I'm on holiday because no, fair play. Okay. But you never quite answered the question. So where does Space Barbecue?
Shameless plug. Jones Bones Barbecue, Grafton, Ohio, 35015 Royalton Road.
You might as well. Okay, so a little bit more lighthearted.
I was gonna put my hoodie on, my Jones Bones Barbecue hoodie on, you know, to promote my company. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Good.
But it's too hot after a couple of hot toddies. Woo!
There's that. So, okay. So, what is your favorite conspiracy theory? And not one that you have to believe, but just which one do you think is the most interesting?
Well, they say Tupac's still alive.
Okay.
Show me.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
So do you believe it, or do you think?
I don't believe it. No. There used to be a website that you used to be able to go to, gruesome.com, and you used to get to see autopsy pictures.
Okay.
Like JFK, whole head blown the fuck out. You know what I mean? You've seen the autopsy photos, actuals. Now this was back in the early 90s. No, not early 90s, mid to late 90s, 97, 98, 99, somewhere around in there. There was this website called gruesome.com, and they actually somehow got all the leaked autopsy photos of famous people.
Okay.
And Tupac was one of them. Dude, he was shot the fuck up, bro. Bullet holes everywhere in that motherfucker. They made sure that motherfucker was dead.
It's weird. I've very little compassion for people. You know what I mean? Sorry, people that don't know. You know what I mean? I remember arguing one night when Charlie and all was on JVs. I can't remember whose it was on, but they were talking about Betty White, and I was like, "Shut the fuck up." She was 99. She was, unless she's paying your mortgage, unless she's somebody you can phone and go, "Do you want to go for a beer?" Unless she's somebody, there's somebody you can phone and go, "Look, I'm feeling a bit down. Can we talk?" Then fuck them. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I don't want to see the gruesome shit. I can send video. I'm in this WhatsApp group with all these people. I don't know most of them, but they're sending stuff of people getting executed and all, and I'm like, I don't want to see that. I don't care that they're getting killed, but I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch people getting cut up with machetes and all. It's like Saddam when they executed Saddam. That video went everywhere, and I didn't really.
Yeah, I remember that one. That was crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck, publicly, nationwide.
Yeah, it didn't bother me that he was alive or dead. I didn't really care, but at the same time, I didn't particularly enjoy watching the man hang. So as soon as I realized what it was, okay, no, let's close that. So
yeah, that was some fucking crazy times too, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, next question. Let's not dwell on this one, bro.
Okay.
We could go down a dark rabbit hole.
the last of the proper questions.
Okay.
What's the one thing from your childhood do you regret your children not having or doing?
Being able to walk the streets safely.
Okay.
It was a lot easier back when we were growing up, man. I was born in 74, so you got, till 90-ish, 95-ish, where it got crazy. Crack came in 84, 85, 86. It really took a toll on people. So you fast forward 10 years later to 1990s, it's gangster rap. People are dying, killing for drugs, fucking crazy. You can't let your kids walk the streets doing all this dumb shit, wear the wrong color, they end up fucking dead. You know what I mean? Fuck that,
Absolutely. It's weird, like everybody's give a sense that it must mean something that everybody's essentially give roughly the same answer. You know what I mean? I'm like Jimmy. I've no kids, but I get it. I mean, I was born in 74, so I'm only a lot of months ahead of you.
That's why I said I'm on your heels.
Yeah. So I was born in a very rough area in Belfast during the Troubles, right? So I had friends who had to move because the terrorists tried to murder them. I used to go to school. I had to get 4 buses a day for school, and nearly every Friday I was caught up in bomb scares. I'm not, and it was brutal. I mean, we couldn't, stuff that people now here take for granted. We couldn't go in the shops. We used to get searched on the way into shops, not on the way out. They were searching to make sure you weren't carrying bombs in the plant in the shops. But I felt safer, and kids were safer back then than they are now. And that worries me a lot. You know what I mean? And then I do wonder. Were we safer, or were we just ignorant to a lot of it because we didn't have the internet?
That could be. I mean, it just there wasn't crazy, wild crimes happening daily. You know what I mean? you know, occasional car accident or something, you know.
Yeah. The thing is, they might have been happening, but if you happen to just not read the right newspaper at night, you wouldn't have read about it.
Yeah.
Because I always talk, there was a bunch of lunatics here called the Shankill Butchers, right? They were loyalist paramilitaries, right? In name, but they were just psychos, right? And they'd have killed anybody, whether they were Protestant, Catholic, whatever. But ostensibly, they were loyalist paramilitaries. But they literally got away with murder for years because so Belfast split north, south, east, west. So the police in if they murdered somebody in West Belfast, nobody in east, north, or south knew what was going on till the next morning. So nobody knew what was going on back then with the late 70s, early 80s. And I think a lot of what we remember is just that we didn't know. Ignorance is bliss sometimes. But I do think you're right. I think yeah, absolutely. We were safer running about. We just,
Yeah. Like Miss Piggy says, though, you know what I mean? Crime always existed. Yes, you are correct.
yeah.
Always. I mean, that's a given. But it just wasn't exploited maybe as much. I don't know.
Although I do think it's got worse. I think parenting stopped. You know, if you came into my door and you rapped my door and you went, "Look, Mister Hearn, Trevor was on my house," I'd have got a smack before I even got a chance to go. But I've been upstairs all night. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or now, if you go to somebody's house and go, "Your son's," they'll slobber at you rather than shout at a kid. You know, and it's. I'm maybe not explaining that what I mean, but you know, I just think there's. I was at the leisure centre today. I'm on train today, and I went in the change room. And there's all these kids running about making a racket, and I'm just thinking, my dad would have smacked the legs of me for running about banging fucking locker doors and screaming and all, and there's grown-ups about this, you know. Anyway, so the plus one we always finish.
Yeah.
What is the single best piece of advice you can share with the world?
Huh.
And it could be as simple as don't add too much salt if you want.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, don't oversalt your food. Salt is supposed to be used in tiny doses. There you go. Hey, a little goes a lot, you know, in seasoning food. You know what I mean? You could definitely overdo it. Let's just say that.
Because funny enough, I was talking about today. So I said my brother's a chef. If he said to me, chefs hate when you say to me, learn if people reach for the salt and the pepper right away without even tasting it. It's insulting, you know what I mean? Because you should taste it. And then if you,
I'll go through 20 spoons tasting like my spaghetti sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so,
from scratch, you know what I mean?
But if you sat down in front of me and I, without even tasting, I reach for the salt or something, you're going to look at me and go, "What the fuck are you doing?"
I had zero salt until the very. I mean, it's already off. It's done bubbling. You know what I mean? My stove looks like a war zone. Just lava everywhere.
Right. So
we got an phone call. Can we take this live?
Absolutely, yeah. Work away, yeah.
All right. Here we go. We're live. And we're live. What's up? And we're live. What's up?
You're still live? I had to step away. My daughter came home from college, so.
Okay. Yeah, that is Kent.
I recognize that voice.
He recognized the voice.
All right. Let me get back on the live. Okay. I thought you were done, buddy. I'm sorry.
You're good. You're good. We're live.
All right. I'll be there.
All right, man.
Bye.
Bye.
See, there you go. Everybody knew his voice right away. There you go. There's three. You know. So. Okay. So, have you time? You happy enough to answer a few questions from the chat?
Do I have time?
Yeah, you happy enough to answer a few questions from?
Yeah. I think out of the 31, I think 30 of them are Miss Piggy.
Miss Piggy's brilliant. Look, I will be selective, you know. So,
so I almost started answering because she was asking them so much. My brain started to fizz like overload. I was like, man, I got to get back to just concentrating on Cap. I had to put the blinders on and stop reading the chat.
No, Miss Piggy's brilliant. Miss Piggy always brings the questions, and it's great, you know. So, but I'm going to be selective because there are way too many, and not just from her. There's all sorts, you know. So, from Angie. So, I feel that artisan created evokes emotion in people. I feel that includes cooking. Do you? Question mark. I can say you are with confidence because I was blessed enough to eat your cooking. So,
oh, definitely. We eat with our eyes. So if it's not appealing to the eyeball, people are gonna not even want to try it. You know what I mean? So you got to make it look good. You know, art goes a long way in my life. I used to be a great artist growing up. I got away from it. I was a great sketcher. And doing the shading with the side of the pencil and stuff like that, capturing different so you know, lighting, you know what I mean, where this side of my face is dark right now but this side's light, you know what I mean, shit like that. Who knows, if I probably would have stuck with that, I'd probably be a tattoo artist this day, tell you the truth.
It's weird. Look, my brother's a chef. One of my oldest friends was chef. Robert would eat and shite him for quality. His stuff was just, and William would say Robert's a much better cook. His stuff tastes nicer, everything. But William took more care of his presentation. You know, that was the difference, you know. But Robert's stuff tasted better. So I absolutely agree. So Jules wants to know what's your favorite thing to make on a Blackstone or a smoker?
Jules, she already witnessed my favorite thing is doing them birria tacos on the flat top, because I can load it up and it's sizzling, cheese is melting and get that nice crisp out of that taco. You know, when that Mexican cheese melts and falls out of the taco, that cheese skirt.
That's hungry again.
Next question.
Okay. Can you still breakdance?
Yes. It's a lot harder. I could do a couple moves. You know, I can pop and lock it. It's easier with just the upper body.
So, JV wants to know, when are you putting that Kansas City Chiefs banner up in the background instead of the one you've got right now?
You know, I would fly a Kansas City Chief because I tell you what, the popularity has grown and everybody might have their opinion about it, but the Kelsey brothers, one's from Philadelphia Eagles, one's from Kansas City Chiefs. I would fly those flags for those.
He's folks. Just retired, doesn't he? Didn't he announce?
Just had the emotional.
That's Mr. Swift, isn't it? That Kelsey that retired, he's Mr. Swift.
No, not the retired one. No,
all right. I didn't know. I didn't even know there was two of them.
Yeah. Kelsey brothers, the Kelsey brothers.
Oh, right, okay.
They're both from Cleveland Heights, right around the corner from us.
Okay.
Yeah. So they were at the Cavs game. You like basketball? Start following the Cavs, man. They were at the Cavs game the other night, and the cameras were all on them. And one of our dudes hit a 3-quarter shot to win the game at the buzzer.
I say I like it. It's the least, so it's the best of the American sports. It's the one I could see me getting into more. But I do say this, and I say this to Joey one night. I'm no interest in American football now, but I want my friends to be happy. So I want the Browns to do well. I want the Chiefs to do well for JV. I want the Cowgirls to get spanked because it annoys Blake and it makes me laugh. But I want my friends' teams to do well. But I've no emotional investment the sport's all about the emotional investment you have in the team.
Yeah.
I understand why you don't like proper football because you don't support a team.
Yeah, we don't have none. I mean, we have
Yeah.
we have soccer leagues around here.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But
yeah,
we had an indoor soccer team in the 80s though that was kick ass.
Yeah.
We used to win championships. Yeah. Called the Force.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Force, man. Yeah, back in the 80s. Joey would remember his name. This dude was awesome. Reminded all of us of Pele. you know what I mean? I think he was the same descent, you know.
I think if you were neutral and you were just right, I'll take you to an American football game, you'd be sitting there after an hour, you go, I'm bored. But if it's the Browns because you're a Browns fan, you know what I mean, or you've money on it, you know what I mean. That is betting. That's why we all bet.
Just so you know, Joey is a diehard Browns fan. So if you go to a football game with Joey, if we're losing, you're going to be. I'm going to go to the bar because he gets very upset. And he don't care who's listening around him. You already met him. You've already met him. Imagine him being pissed off.
I'd love that. I'd be there behind him poking him. Joey, he's always this bad. Joey, is it normally happens at the Browns game? Because I know he'd look at me. I know he'd look at me and go, I'm going to kill you. I know he wouldn't, which is why I'd be safe enough doing it. But, let's see. There we go. From Miss Piggy. What dishes did your grandmother cook and what was your favorite?
What dishes did your grandmother cook? So she was big on the mashed potatoes, man. So we got a lot of family that would come over and eat. So she would make like a whole 10-pound bag of mashed. She had this big pot. And it was just full of mashed potatoes. And you would hear her and mashing them and it's hitting the side of the thing. So her big thing was mashed potatoes. And we haven't been able to, like I was saying earlier, we can't replicate that damn recipe. We cannot. She had the right creaminess, the right amount of butter, the right amount of milk, the right amount of spuds. Boiled to perfection, you know what I mean?
See, that's weird. I hated cream potatoes growing up. I was out for a Christmas dinner one night in the Europa Hotel, the most bombed hotel in the world, including Beirut. And it was lovely. And I happened to talk to the brother. He says, "Yeah, that's because they put it through a ricer." I went, "What? They put it through a ricer? What the fuck's that?" And then he bought a ricer, he started doing them in the house. And all of a sudden, boiled, cream potatoes were heaven. So yeah, I get you on that one. Blake, no, the cowgirls are fucked. Don't you start. And don't you start. Fuck Man U. This is all Liverpool here. So
yeah, and he's got a poke cap.
Absolutely. Yeah, and there you go.
I think Blake totally missed my answer about the fucking alien shit too.
Yeah,
because he didn't comment. Now he's back commenting. I
see that's what he does. He jumps in and out, and he makes a comment at the start, and then he can pretend he was here, and then he jumps into the end and go, "Hi guys," and then he pretends he supported you for the show, and that's all it is, So fuck him. Let me see. Well, we know you've children, you have a daughter, so we'll go with that one. Well, there you go. There's a good question, actually. Have you ever thought about relocating, and if so, where?
Ooh, man. Ooh, that's rough. Because
you answer that one. I'm gonna wet myself out to run for a pee.
Yeah. Go ahead. Miss Piggy, this is a rough one because I'm Cleveland born and bred. Like I said, I didn't start traveling until I was 40. So that's a lot of years in the same city. So I know a lot of people. I know a lot of places. I know a lot of things. And it would be hard relocating. For one, I love this city. It built me. It built this character that you see. Because, Miss Piggy, if you ever met me in real life, this is the person you're going to meet. I could probably even take it up a notch because you'd see behind the scenes of how the operation happens to get this hype. But yeah, man, I love Cleveland. It would be hard to relocate. But if I did, I would consider Texas for sure. Even though their laws are crazy, you get in trouble for some stuff I do. So I would have to really be a really goody two shoe if I went to Texas. I'd have to clean my act up.
See, Joey's trying to get me to move to Ohio. You know,
it's a great place. There's plenty of work. We have a lot of what do they call those? Displacements. You could probably get a lot of tax-free benefits, bro.
He keeps sending me stuff about how Cleveland's the best place in the world in Ohio. He says, no, you can buy guns, you can buy weed, you can, all this stuff. And he knows me too well now, so he knows all I want is drugs and loose moral women. But okay, let me see. We did the hip hop one. Let me see. There's too many here. No, we're not asking about his OnlyFans page.
There's a lot to sift through. Now it's just finding a rhythm.
So, Neb, how many tats do you have, and can you explain the meaning of some of them?
I got one long one. I got one on my left calf from my top of my knee, or bottom of my knee to my ankle, and I got a scorpion on my right calf, which I'm Scorpio, so I got a scorpion. Left calf is a B-boy spray painting, and I have one of my bands I follow, like on a brick wall, spray painted. Cottonmouth Kings, shout out, been following them for 25 plus years. Underground from Cali. And then I got my Irish. This is my nickname, Leprechaun, so I had to get the Leprechaun tattooed on me.
And it's quite a sinister looking leprechaun, in fairness.
I told him not to be. I said I don't want no traditional leprechaun. So when I was explaining it, I was really animate what I wanted. Yeah, I want this fucking leprechaun. Yeah. And he's watching my facial expressions. Is what he's doing. You know what I mean? And he took me and made it. You know what I mean? So that's how I was explaining it to him. And as you can see, he's got the bowl in the mouth because we were, you know what I mean? That's what we were doing. You know what I mean? We were indulging. And I said, but if you've seen a lot of those 3D armed, like, you know, sometimes they get the robot looking.
Yeah.
And it, you know what I mean, like that. So I wanted that. So he tattooed the arm, so you can see his arm.
Yeah.
And then when I turn this way, there's his hand with coins and shit.
Right.
And he found them in a bushel of clovers. And then I got the horseshoe, the dice, the 7, the gem, and other coins, and there's going to be a lot of filler stuff in there. Like I found the pot of gold. You know what I mean? So it's actually a vision. It'll go up over my shoulder. It'll have the street that I grew up, the telephone pole with the street signs, with the city Cleveland skyline. Probably. I don't know if I'm going to do Leprechaun here. Should I do Leprechaun here? You know what I mean? The name Leprechaun here.
I would wait till you get your food van. Get your own truck And when you settle on a logo, get your logo done on your arm.
Mm. Okay.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you know, so I've got a clatter of tattoos. I'm not going to show them all now, but you know, and my friend Snoopy, you know, tattoos by Snoopy. You know, he's a good guy, and he's done all my stuff, and he's got on his elbow, he's got an eye, but it actually when he does that, it closes up.
Yeah.
When he bends, you know, the eye, you know, it opens up and all.
Yeah, I love
You know,
that. So that was now mind you, this was 2003,
yeah,
2002
yeah.
when I first got this done. So that was the vision I was seeing back then before they actually started doing. Now there's the one where it looks like his arm is the cartoon's fist, and this is your actually fist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
3D-ish, you know, shit like that.
Okay. So we're gonna finish on a couple of food ones. Then Miss Piggy wants to know: can you quickly explain how to make one of your specialty burgers?
All right, so I get 80-20. You got to get 80-20 ground beef, 80% to 20% fat.
That's quite a high fat content.
This is a smash burger, though.
Okay.
So that fat, when it all seals in and then it leaks out. You know what I mean? At the same time, it's a weird. Yeah. They call it the Malar.
Yeah, well, I get that because people that don't know any better don't realize that the flavors in the fat. You have to have fat to flavor it.
Yeah. So I use Uncle Steve's shake, the original.
Okay.
And smash as flat as you could get it. And you only flip one time. Hashtag one flip for my dude Blake TV over there. And that's all you need, man. And it's a juicy ass burger. Onions, no onions. I mean, you could do it the Oklahoma way where you put the sliver of onion on top of the ball and smash it together. So when you flip it, now mind you, there's the onion already being crisped when you got that down. And once you start seeing a little brown come up around the edge of the burger, once you see a little brown, that's when you know you have a nice sear.
Yeah.
Scrape that and flip it. Now them onions are your base, and it's gonna all sear together on that side. So then you put your cheese on top of that, and then the bun on top of that, so it all steams together. You could even throw a dome over it to melt that cheese a little quicker so it don't burn on the other side, the onions, because you don't like burnt onions. You want crispy, tasty onions.
Yeah, it's weird. It depends what mood I'm in for onions. Sometimes I like them raw, and sometimes I like them almost caramelized. It just depends.
No, if I do your traditional fat cheeseburger on like a charcoal grill, yeah, I'm going to give you raw onion, lettuce, tomato, you know, option, pickle, you know, all your condiments. Sure, I do those ones too. Those are boring. Those are boring. Those are boring to me. I've been doing those my whole life.
That's one of the problems.
I started working in fast food at 15 to 18. I cooked a lot of freaking burgers that were basic.
I know chefs that hate turkey because they cook turkey for about 4 weeks in a run up to Christmas. There's nothing wrong with the meat. They're just bored with it. And then they end up on Christmas Day, they want a steak or something. So that repetition, you know, can get you in any profession, and chefing's just the same. So, Miss Pig, so what type of meat are you using for your burgers?
Ground meat. Oh, what type of meat do you use for your burgers and tacos? Is it fresh or frozen? What is that? What is that?
Are you going to a proper butcher's, I suppose, rather than Costco's or Walmart or something?
Yeah, no frozen shit. Now, have I cooked with some frozen burgers? Fuck yeah. To feed a fucking crowd cheap? Fuck yeah. Depends on who you are to deserve that burger or that taco. And taco, I hardly ever use ground beef for tacos.
Okay. So what goes in the taco? So there's somebody that's never had proper tacos. What goes in the taco?
So I'm going to give you probably the easiest and cheapest is a chorizo street taco. So that's 2 tortillas, chorizo sausage, pork sausage. The chorizo is just your seasonings.
I'm not a fan of chorizo. We have chorizo here, and it's one I'm not a fan of, to be honest.
Okay, all right. So I'd go carne asada. I give you little bits of steak, you know. And I'm going to give you cilantro and onion, chopped up onion, and maybe a salsa verde, which is the green sauce.
Right.
Yeah. No cheese. No, nothing. You could put some radish on there. You like radish? Slivers of radish.
Yeah.
Slivers of radish. It'll give you heat. It'll give you heat. If not, jalapeno, if you like jalapeno.
There's very little that I would say, even chorizo, I wouldn't order it, but if you were to put it in front of me, I wouldn't go, I'm not eating it. You know what I mean? There's very little I'll turn my nose up at. So, yeah, you put almost anything for me, like, try that. I'll try almost anything these days. There's a few seafoods I'm not a fan of, but, you know, on principle, I won't eat lobster. I don't want to eat something that's cooked alive. But that's, you know, I don't like the thought of something being through in a boiling pot for me to eat. Kill it, you know, and I'm a carnivore. I love lamb, chicken, all that there. But I don't want something cooked alive, you know. But other than that, you know. So let me see.
What do you call it? Now if I was doing my birria tacos, Miss Piggy, I'm using a brisket. And I got to get my bone, so I'm gonna throw in a beef shank bone, and I'm gonna throw in probably about 3 short rib bones, just to give you all that bone marrow flavor, beef, hot stock, which builds that flavor profile for that consomme.
Trying to work out. It's too late for me to order food in. It really is at this stage. I'm gonna have to go to bed hungry. Yeah.
Seth asked, "What favorite local sports team?" You're right above my head, brother. Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, pulled pork is yeah. I might have to change the subject very quickly.
Right.
So, very nearly there. Carla, who's your famous chef that you like watching? Are there any?
That's rough, man. I got a couple favorites. For their own ways, you know. But just because I watch a chef doesn't mean I'm gonna duplicate them. They were just people I like that entertain me. You know what I mean? One that we could all relate to, Guy Fieri. You know, Ralph the Baker, bro. This dude, we met him. That's crazy, Randy. So Ralph the Baker, when I said earlier, you know, who is, when you asked about the YouTube channel I follow, Ralph the Baker is one I've been following since 2020. And this dude just exploded, and he's a griddler, you know. He's got the Blackstone griddle and shit, and he takes butter. He's from Louisiana, so he likes all that crazy Cajun crawfish boil type, you know, gumbo and all that type of Louisiana deep South recipes and stuff like that. And his thing is, he takes a stick of butter and he throws it on the griddle,
Right.
And I got to hang out with the cat, man. Like they had this VIP blocked off. We walked in VIP. Let me tell you, this right here. Hey, we walked in like champs, bro. And we knew the cops at the door would come up. Oh yeah, what's up, bro? Let us in, dap them up, go in. And they had this part now the past 2 nights, that was our VIP corner. So now they had this barricade. We walked right up in there, moved the barricade, walked behind it, stood there, and he was back there. And so I come back there and I just introduced myself, bro.
Yeah.
Hanging out, dapping it up, laughing, giggling. There was this other YouTuber, Kaleem Johnson, funny MC, you know, he was on the microphone, you know, got me on the dance floor, all kinds of crazy shit. It was balls to the wall, bro. Like crazy VIP type atmosphere.
Okay. So why baker if he's not baking stuff? Because a baker to me is somebody's doing cakes and pies and.
Yeah, maybe if I ever get to having the hot seat back, I could invite him on and ask him that question.
Oh, okay, so the last question. No, sorry. Well, one from Kent. We'll ask in a wee second. So, what cooking gear do you use and will endorse?
Let's say I don't endorse anything. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not a paid endorsement, but what do you like?
It's a given. If you go back and watch my any of my videos, it's all about the Blackstone.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think JV's got a Blackstone. I think
it got popular, man. Obviously, the pandemic made it blow up bigger than it was, but Kent and I was already using one 2015, 16. You know what I mean? Maybe even longer than that for a lot of us. You know what I mean?
See.
It's a flat top, you know, like you see in a diner, like you see in a diner.
Yeah. See, the thing is, I remember talking. JV was saying one night to me, you know, why don't you do this over there? And I says, well, it's always fucking raining and it's cold. You know, so we don't have we don't have that consistency because I know you get extremes. I know you get real bad storms, and we don't. Our weather's fairly consistent. It's always just a wee bit warm or a wee bit cold. Every now and then it'll be really warm or really, but it's a rarity where you get really, really, really hot in the summer and really, really cold in the winter.
Yeah.
But you know what you're getting. You know when it's going to be really cold. You know, so you can plan shit like barbecues and all the rest of it. There's no point.
You still around here. You still cook even though it's cold.
Yeah, but you know roughly when the weather's going to be, you know it's going to be pretty dry for 2 or 3 months.
Pretty consistent through the.
You don't get that. It's always fucking, you know. I'd say we've tried a college. We planned. We'll get the boys up on a Friday. We'll have a barbecue. The last time we did it, storm kicked up, and you couldn't. We had to weigh everything down, and everybody was trying to get fed as quick as possible to get into the heat. You know, it was. You know, it was terrible, you know. So I'd love to be able to...
Something I would endorse. I do have one I'd endorse is bamboo shower chairs. What Randy's saying over there in the chat.
Okay.
All us barbecue guys got this email from this company wanting us to get a bamboo chair and do a review for it on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We're barbecue channels. They wanted us to have a bamboo shower chair and do a review about it.
Okay. Well, if they're going to pay,
crazy. It's been a running joke probably since 2017, somewhere around in there.
No, fair play. Right. Let me see. Very neat. So, so one from Kent. Here's Lep has a Steelers tramp stamp. Any truth to
that? No.
Steelers. Is that the Detroit Steelers? Is that
Pittsburgh? That's our rivals. That's our rival.
Oh, right.
100 miles away.
Okay. Yeah, and the last one from JV, because wouldn't be a live like JV having something sarky to say in the background. So, banana on pizza, you for it or against it?
And you already know that question, brother. Against it. No pineapple, no banana, no strawberries, no blueberries, no blackberries, no peaches, no mangoes. No fruit. No.
Lots of people are like that. So they either love fruit on pizza or they hate it. It's blasphemy to some people, which is weird. So outside of it, do you like the sweet versus the savory in other dishes, or is it just pizza you don't like it in?
Yeah, it just don't work with pizza with me. That's just that moment. I mean, now it might work somewhere else, but pizza, no, because it's hot and it's fresh. Now maybe have you ever had a veggie pizza where they put like the cream cheese and they put
No.
like the broccoli florets and chopped pepper, bell pepper, and it's all veggies.
No.
Now, something like that, maybe it's cold. No, can't do it. I have a mush thing. Like when things are mushy, I get queasy.
Okay.
Yeah,
See, for me,
like the chalk, the nails on the chalkboard.
Yeah.
That's one thing. Like if I grab something that's mushy,
Right. Okay. Look, I understand. Like, and I know JV's. It's a bit of a running joke now because and people thought I was joking at first. I first tried it in Spain, Gran Canaria, and they call it a Canarian pizza. But I love the sweet versus the savory, and that's why it works for me. Banana and then sort of pepperoni, salami, bacon, whatever on it. I love the contrast of the two.
right on.
But it isn't for everybody. So,
Right.
So I think that's us because this has been on. This is nearly as long as the one with Squirrel.
Yeah. Who got the after party?
I
haven't seen anything.
But he ain't doing it. So firstly, Lep, thank you very much for doing this. I really enjoyed it. It's been fantastic. My throat is starting to close up, but I think the pair of us have sort of got there to the end.
Right on.
So, thank you for everybody in the chat, including all your barbecue guys, Kent and all, and everybody that turned up and all the regulars. Thank you very much. Have you anything you want to shout out? If you have any shows coming up or anything you want to?
Not too much. Just love everybody. Let's do this power movement.
Well, I mean, obviously, Lep's link is in the build, the description and all. But I mean, I think most people here know you anyway. So
one love.
Yeah. So
one.
Yeah. Thanks, everyone. I'm not going through everybody in the chat. There's been too many tonight, which is fantastic. So, hopefully, some of the barbecue guys have enjoyed what we've done and might come back. So it's random who we get on and what questions we ask. So, thank you very much, everybody. So, night, everybody, and we are.